This is a PSA, or public sock announcement. Experts have declared Bombas socks as the best way to warm up chilly feet. These pairs are super cushy, soft, and designed for maximum coziness. Plus, for every pair purchased, another pair will be donated, so someone in need of essential clothing can stay warm this winter. Go to bombas.com/listen and use code LISTEN for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com/listen and use code LISTEN at checkout.
There's one thing that will forever change the way you sleep, and it's the softest 100% organic cotton sheets from Boll & Branch. You'll fall asleep faster, wrapped in the most luxurious comfort. You'll never sleep hot again with sheets that feel breathable to sleep in. You'll experience the purest softness on night one and feel your sheets get even softer with every wash. Discover the difference with 15% off your first set of sheets at bollandbranch.com with code CUMULUS. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
Okay, Scott, how do you like to pronounce your last name?
McLaughlin.
You like the Glock sound?
Yeah, Glock. Yeah. Glock.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's bad news for Mrs. McLaughlin, my second and fourth grade teachers. Sorry, dear.
But honestly, whatever you, it doesn't bother me. If you want to say it that way, I don't care either.
No. It's just interesting that certain people, everyone pronounces it incorrectly. They finally just give up hope.
Yeah. There's a bit where I'm at.
Well, you're having a great month. Jeez.
Yeah. It's going all right. Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Great season.
We ticked the first box. Now it's about ticking the last one, right?
So
how many Kiwis are there now?
Three, yep. So,
okay.
Couple, Scotty Dixon, Marcus Armstrong, and me.
Wow, that's what a cool thing to do, to come from there all the way over here. Do you get back to New Zealand much?
My mum and dad's obviously still live there. I got last time I got back was late 2022. It's a long trek to get back there. It's 43-hour door to door almost. So it's a long way, but. I want to try and get back there this year later. We got a daughter coming on the way in October, so it's our first child. So got to try and get her to New Zealand somehow and see the grandparents. Your dad
was kind of harsh on you in the at Long Beach. He's like, I didn't come all the way over here to see you finish second.
Yeah, he doesn't miss.
Like that attitude.
Yeah, he doesn't miss. But it was like when I went for qualifying, he rang me and said, "Oh, pole's acceptable," So he's
they
always
the
pushed me
barber.
pretty
He
hard.
likes you again.
They were just here
I told him
too early.
I said they're the mush, So at the end of the day, that's why I said that you guys are home and I'm going pretty good.
Do you have any family that are going to be here?
I've got my wife's family, my in-laws, and a bunch of friends and a couple of friends from Australia. But mum and dad will watch from home, and my sister will watch from home as well.
Where are they? What town?
My mum and dad are in Cambridge, New Zealand. It's about an hour south of Auckland.
Sure.
And then my sister's in Sydney. In Australia.
Oh,
yeah.
So the Indianapolis 500 starts Eastern time.
12:45.
12:45. What time is it in New Zealand?
It's like 4:45. It works out to be, or 5:45, one of those ones. And then Australia, it's 3:45 or something.
AM.
It's AM in the morning. So it's a big trek. Yeah, absolutely. So either
All-nighter.
Yeah, it's an all-nighter. Well, I used to before I came here, I would watch the Monaco Grand Prix and then go into the Indy 500 and then try and squeeze in the Charlotte 600. It's a whole thing over there to do that. Yeah.
It's the endurance watching, not the endurance racing.
Exactly.
Are you pretty well known in New Zealand?
Reasonably, yeah. From New Zealand, Australia, but probably more so New Zealand for sure. Me, Scotty Dixon, all the racing drivers.
Do you have any specific products from there that you endorse, or?
Not endorsed, not anymore. But I was. For me, I'm the patron of the Kartsport New Zealand, which is the Kartsport Federation in New Zealand. So I sort of represent or open doors to the federation to help karters, go-karters come through the ranks and find themselves in racing cars and stuff like that. So I sort of take a keen interest in the young talent over there.
Yeah.
How many supercar championships did you win?
I won 3.
3.
Yeah.
Didn't any of those fans translate over to Indy cars? You get them converted at all?
Yeah. There's a lot that come over and they come to this race especially. I got a big tour group from New Zealand and Australia come over. I got about 55, 60 people coming over. So it's pretty awesome and experiencing the Indy 500 for the first time. It's completely different.
Do you get to do like an audience with them? Or?
Yeah. So last night I did like a dinner. I played some golf with them yesterday at the Brickyard. Just going a couple of holes and then go to the next one sort of thing. Yeah, it's just cool to experience. Like, this is an amazing spectacle, as we all know, but I don't think people down under realize how big it actually is on the one day. So I'm so excited for them to experience it. And
A lot of golf this week. You had to play the stick on Tuesday.
I did. Played this. I actually shot my PB best round at the Brickyard. I shot a 75 from the Blues, so that was my best round. But and then I shot 89 the next day at Crooked Stick, so it brought me down to earth.
Graham didn't play very well. Then.
He shot 88.
He's pretty good. You only lost by 1.
Yeah, I know. I owe him $100. So
Yes, sir.
Oh.
Playing with Anthony Calhoun.
Yeah, he was great. Yeah, it was good. AC was good time, and that place is, that they've made it really tough because it's getting blown up. So the greens were like this table. I just like lost, so it's very hard to stop the ball.
Before races, do you have any particular rituals that you go through?
Go to the toilet. That's about it. But I don't. Yeah, absolutely. But no,
1 and 2.
Hopefully, depends. But no, we ultimately, I get him from the left-hand side. I think it's just a habit, but I wouldn't say I'm that superstitious about too many things. Just I normally like this race, like we'll have a dinner the night of with the Penske crew and whatnot, and then the preparation's done. I don't look at any video. I just go and soak in the atmosphere. I walk the dogs around here with my wife. We go up to the grandstand, just enjoy it, soak it in, and hopefully at the end of Sunday we're at the top of the pylon.
Do you have any meet and greets or anything race morning?
Sunday it's strictly just business, nothing at all.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
it's not true of everyone.
No. So we do a lot of the work on Saturday. So Penske are pretty busy with us on Saturday, getting us to and from the parade, and then we have a dinner and whatnot, and then it's just business Sunday, which is nice. I actually prefer being busier Friday, Saturday to be left alone on Sunday.
Absolutely. You got a job to do.
Yeah.
And you and Ben Bressman, your engineer, have been a pretty good combo. You seem like you've got you guys are kind of like got that Jedi mind meld going.
Oh, he's a great guy, as you know, and very smart human being. I'm lucky to have him on my side, but
real
not
calm
only
temperament.
Yeah, very calm, great team leader. We work together really well, got a great working relationship, but we play a lot of golf together. We're very good friends. He's one of my best friends, and he's been like that. Like, he worked with Simon Pagenaud back in the day for many years. They won an Indy 500 together, so he knows what it's like to win an Indy 500. So I'm really leaning on him to understand the race, understand the cadence of it, and it's invaluable, that experience. I don't have it. I've actually been bad here, but I feel like I've worked really hard to learn my mistakes and figure out where I can go better on Sunday.
Did you hear that Simon's going to be driving
Gilles de
Ferrand's car?
It's unreal. That's amazing for him, because they're super close. And Simon's an emotional guy, and I know that's going to be an emotional day for him, not only because of Gil and whatnot, but I think the fact of, unfortunately, he's out of the race car right now, and we all want him to be back in the race car. He's an amazing racing car driver, the Indy 500 champion, and ultimately it sucks that he got taken out of the race car too soon, but he's a guy, he's a fighter, he's going to come back strong, and for him to get a little taste of that with Gilles' car is amazing, and I couldn't think of a better guy to do it.
Absolutely.
When you were a kid, did you get to watch the Indy 500 at 3 in the morning?
I remember vividly the first time I watched it was when Scott Dixon won in 2008. So and it was it was the first time that was, I think, one of the first times that I remember that it was broadcast live in New Zealand. And, I watched it and enjoyed his win. It was an amazing day. And to race now Scotty at the 500 and be in his era, it just shows how good he is.
When did you first meet him? Was it before you came over here?
Yeah, 2008, I actually met him. He came back to New Zealand and did a thing with karting people in New Zealand, and I was one of those kids. And he was a super nice guy. But now, he was always kept in touch when I was doing supercars down under and stuff. But then he's just even cooler when you get to meet him and get to race him firsthand.
Yep. Now we just got to get you on I told him I was flying to New Zealand, and I saw him on the flight video where it's all these famous New Zealanders. So now we just got to get you on there, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
I New Zealand.
No, he's a big Kiwi, man. He's very well known and a legend of the country. Yeah. So and honestly, I don't think he gets enough respect for what he's done. Like, he's one of the best IndyCar drivers of all time, an amazing pedigree, and he's just such a cool dude as well.
Speaking of cool, we've been asking, any tattoos?
No tats, but no. My wife's got plenty of tats, but she takes
got them for you.
Yeah, she's got a sleeve and whatnot, but I definitely want to get a tattoo. I might do something for my daughter here later in the year, but we'll see.
Hanging out with Will Power. And we, of course, introduced him to the song Lady Willpower years ago that he'd never heard of. I thought, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And can you imagine if there was a song called Drew Powell? Wouldn't you know about
there
it?
There will be eventually. I'm going to write it.
Yeah,
but
lady
Drew Powell. Big old Lady Drew Powell, I think. Yeah.
You look like you're sitting on the toilet.
How we doing? Well, the truth is you're sitting in my seat, but I'm so polite that I was like, I'm going to let the guy that goes 230 sit wherever the F he wants.
Man, I should have sat there because then it can be, I should be.
But that's why I'm.
This is a better
you
spot.
can sit on the toilet.
You've been hogging the spot. Well, you're doing great. Got a great spot to start. Is it really better to start 2 or 3 than 1? Is there?
I don't think
historically.
I mean, you mean stats?
Yeah. Historically.
Statistically, I got a sore on my tongue, man. I can hardly talk.
Like an infected taste bud?
No, it's like a bit. I had this big blood blister, and it hurt.
Herpes?
And now it's just I can hardly eat. It's frustrating.
That is frustrating.
So I just wanted to let all the audience know that. So,
keep you light for the race.
Yeah.
Don't worry, guys. We'll post a picture of it later.
No, historically is what is
I think since I've been here, I think I've seen a few people from the pole win. I've seen people win from everywhere. I don't think it really matters.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's a long race, man.
Yeah.
Especially within the team, do you guys talk about that as far as like
corner?
At the green flag, we let kind of the first guy kind of go, or is it just sort of
I think it'd just be
it
would just shake itself out, however that is. I mean, you're not gonna. It's such a long race, man. You can't. On one hand, you can't be too conservative, but you're not going to risk everything in the first corner.
Advantage having teammates up front as far as controlling the race up at first?
Yeah, it's hard to say. It really is. I mean, everyone's in their own race, so does your teammate really want to lead and burn fuel, or is he going to want to drop back? I mean, it's always a little tough for racing your teammates, to be honest, because there's that little thing in the back of your mind where you got to be careful.
Now, interestingly enough, we've only seen 2 tattoos today.
2 tattoos?
2 tattoos.
Tattoo.
And one very small one on Dixon.
You didn't ask about Rinus. Did you see Rinus had on his inner?
I didn't see it.
Yeah, it was like a date of some kind.
Okay. And are you tattoo free?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. So we're all we. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like the cool thing, man.
Stroke.
It's cool to be free of tattoos. Exactly. Like, because everyone has them.
Yeah,
and like someone sees you without, like, man, he's tough. Don't screw with that. It used to be the opposite. If I saw someone with a tattoo, I'd be like, I wouldn't fight him.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
now, if I see someone without one, it's like, he's not following the crowd. Like, this dude knows his
Like if I went to your hometown, I'd have a Toowoomba tattoo or something.
Yeah.
Now it's like I went to the mall. There's a guy doing them there.
I just met a guy who, as an actor, had a tattooist at the wedding, which I'm thinking is a terrible idea. People are hammered, they're all excited, and he got a stupid tattoo on his arm that makes no sense.
The name of the couple, I hope.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And they broke up 2 weeks later.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
It was all bad.
Well, it turned into a murder story, didn't it? Yeah, it was something to do with
It was
tattoo
bad. It was
artist
bad.
and-
Well, the guy was on Walking Dead, so then I think that's kind of the deal. Now,
Makes sense.
Is it true that your brother was or is a stand-up?
He is a stand-up, yeah.
What's more terrifying, being a stand-up or going 230 miles an hour around
I've never
oval?
been a stand-up, but I know he works hard at it. Still living the couch life.
God bless him.
Yeah, still living.
Is he mostly in Australia or is he all over? Yeah.
No, he's going to come over here actually because
Nice.
he's sort of as big as he could get in Australia, to be honest. So he needs to do the New York scene and some of those joints. And
That's great though. That is so cool.
Yeah, he's been a stand-up for like 20 plus years.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
What's his first name?
He's Damien Powell. Yeah, he got a lot of stuff.
He can come on the Bob and Tom show. They've broken so many comics on this show.
He would love it. Yeah.
Does he do television over there? Is he like an actor?
He has done television. He's done a little bit of acting. A lot of big stand-up shows. He's done a lot.
And does everyone know that you're his brother?
Yes. Yeah, I think so. I don't know how many people know me over there, but
well, that was kind of that's interesting. So people over there don't realize how successful you are in this field.
Not really. No, it's not. I'm not that big over there.
That's crazy.
Not that big. Not that big here, but anyway, really.
You've done all right.
Do you have any Australian sponsors?
No
products.
No.
Okay,
nothing.
I got some Australian questions because I met my wife in Australia shooting the Great American Western Ponderosa, which was a prequel to Bonanza. So I go there a lot. I have some thoughts, but I'd like to get your thoughts. Favorite snack? Are you a Shapes guy?
Yeah.
Are you a Tim Tam guy? Are you?
It's like the cherry ripe's probably my favorite. Cherry ripe or any of the Cadbury Black Forest. Oh, so
great
good,
choice,
man.
great choice. All right,
So
what
good.
about beer? Beer's very, it's very localized, right?
Yeah,
You drink your-
Forex. I don't drink at all. Actually, I just
Right.
don't drink, man.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
yeah. But when I was VB, but then Forex Gold was nice.
Forex Gold.
Forex
you
Gold.
Queenslander?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so
that
Forex
makes sense.
Gold. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Better than Cooper's, but
Never had Coopers.
all right.
Do you get back there
so
much?
I haven't
straight.
been there. I've been away from Australia for
That's fair
25
enough.
years.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Do you get back there at all?
I do like for a couple of weeks a year. Yeah, so not very much.
Any
no,
family
hardly
coming to
that.
the race?
No. Yeah, they don't never
a
come.
long way,
They
man.
don't come to any races.
It's a freaking long way.
I can't remember what was the last time a family member came. It actually might have been my brother. Each time he's come, he came in 18, and I won the race here. Then
Dang.
he came again in 22. Well, I won the championship that year, but he came here and he went to Detroit, and I won Detroit, and that was my only win.
Get
so-
his
Get his
butt
butt
over
over
here.
here.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no, I asked
What
him,
is he
but
doing? What are we
he just
talking about
doesn't-
here?
Is he playing the Chuckle Hut in
yeah.
Toowoomba?
Yeah.
He did a bunch of stuff with IndyCar last time he was over here.
Years ago,
Years
he did
ago,
some IndyCar stuff. Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, no, he's he does a lot. Does a lot of writing. Writes a lot of scripts. I know that HBO picked up one of his scripts, but then they merged with someone and he got it back and he could resell it. But
Is there a role for a large, handsome, bearded man?
what's that?
Is there a role for? Do you remember?
I guess you could play the father.
Yes.
It actually
Now
was
we're
about
t-
IndyCar.
What?
Yeah, it was. It was about IndyCar and.
You could be the old time mechanic.
Yeah. Hey.
I remember the
let me
days
tell
when
you,
they had
I remember.
riding mechanics.
I'm
Good.
the grease monkey.
Yeah, they'd have like this opening scene would be you sitting in the cubicle in the toilet, just like that,
Just like this.
just like
Picture
that.
this. And then you zoom out.
Zoom out, and you're on the phone, like make sure you get the camber in the car. Like the front isn't working. Yeah,
Let's
just
go.
with the hat and everything.
Let's go. Absolutely.
Be perfect. And
Come
the
on,
chain.
man.
That'd be
Let's go.
awesome.
Let's go.
I know-
We're going to make this happen.
I find it's super distracting when I'm trying to do something and someone's talking to me. When you're in the
Yeah.
car for qualifying, it's 3 minutes? Are they talking to you much, or everything's cool? They just if it's going right, they just shut up.
They're talking to you on the straight. They'll tell you the slot to be in. And sometimes I say, remember your adjusters. Yeah, minimal, but I do know what you mean. I mean, you're so used to spotters, so they're talking to you all the time in the race.
And do you talk back much?
Only if I need to. Yeah. I actually don't.
Do you ever call? I was saying, like in baseball, the pitcher will call off the sign. Do you have to say something to him like, "I'm not doing that," or do you just not do it and let him figure it out?
Yeah, I haven't done that much. I know that they know better, but I've certainly given opinions. You know, this last race here in the road course, I was like, code 30, which is just a code for strategy. And so it was my sort of suggestion. We hear you. And they did it. So
And it worked.
it didn't work. We didn't win. So later on, they said, one more time, you're fired. So I got it.
How often do you get to speak to Mr. Penske?
I see him quite a bit, yeah.
What a great! I mean, what an amazing job he's done here. It's incredible.
Yeah, he has. He's the right guy to own this place for sure. It's very nice.
How's the 100 Days to Indy filming that? The last 2 years, I would say, two of the best episodes that they've had are focused on kind of you and your wife.
Right.
Your mother-in-law could probably have her own show. She was
could.
the star.
She is.
I mean, hopefully you got her wine in the mug at some point in time.
Yeah,
but that
she's-
was. She was fantastic.
To
on
be
the last
honest, the
episode.
first time I'd ever seen my wife and mother-in-law watching a race was on 100 Days to Indy.
Really?
I'd
Is that
never,
right?
Yeah,
They were
I
awesome.
didn't realize how
So
nuts they were.
They're at Barber. They're on track. Will is battling Scott, and it's kind of back and forth. And his wife's listening to the radio. The mother-in-law is yelling at the wife about what the strategy is and why did he do that, and she's yelling back.
Is this
I mean,
season one or season
this
two?
season 2? This is the episode of last Friday.
Season 1 was the first time I saw him.
That was crazy, man. That
this
was
last
so
one, I was
great.
like, get this lady on TV. Like, your mother-in-law was fantastic. But
Oh, yeah.
just in general, episodes of following, the relationship with you and your wife, and obviously the health stuff she had last year, but like have been awesome, and it's really cool to see that behind the scenes. And I think you guys have done an amazing job.
Well, thank you.
With how that's gone.
Yeah, I mean, just acting like we do.
Yeah. Is it weird though to have
oh, yeah, well, they actually started to disappear.
Yeah.
To be honest, like because they cut it down obviously massively, so they get a lot of footage, so they're around all the time, and sometimes you forget, and you're just like, so they do take. That's realistic, yeah, because you just start. It is funny how cameras disappear.
Yeah,
after a while, you just fall. You forget you got a mic on, all that, and you're there talking crap, and it's like, oops.
We've already had a few drivers asked to strike some stuff from because they're like, oh wait, you're recording this? Like, yeah.
Well,
might want to edit that out.
Well, best of luck. Thanks so much for your time. I know how busy
let's
you
go,
are.
Will.
Thank you.
And bring your brother, will you?
Yeah, no, he'd
Damien.
love to come on. Yeah,
I would love to talk to him. That's so cool.
Sweet. All right, roll. Hey-o.
Hey-o.
Welcome, race fans, to your local legend, Indianapolis' own Conor Daly.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, Conor.
Thank you. How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. Good to see you guys.
Good to see
Glad
you.
you brought Drew back here.
Yeah.
I needed a job.
Always. I brought my Lucky Cannonball Run.
There you go. I love it.
I look like the Big Lebowski. I feel like
Kinda.
we got a whole thing going on.
Yeah.
Dude.
But it's always good to have you here.
It is. And it's great to be here because I grew up in Indiana.
There you go.
Very much like this guy sitting to my left.
And this girl sitting to your
And
right.
this girl
Boom.
sitting to my right.
We're
We got
all
the
Indiana
Indiana connection.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Love that.
Yeah.
I mean, does it ever... one of the things I appreciate about you, in full disclosure, we're buddies. I appreciate that you appreciate it. Like you don't take it for granted, and that's something I try to do in my life. And I would think it would be easy as someone like this basically was your backyard. I mean, literally, I remember playing golf with you right there.
Oh, yeah.
And I think I accidentally hit you with a ball, which was
That's
not
all right.
cool.
That
Not cool,
happens.
Drew. Not
That
cool.
happens.
But that you really appreciate it. I mean, how were you? Who instilled that in you? How did you?
Well, I mean, I'm just very thankful all the time
Yeah.
for the opportunity to be here. I think because my IndyCar career has been weird and tumultuous, when I'm out of the car, it's like it's so painful. So when I'm in the car, I just try to be very thankful for it and enjoy every experience. And this event obviously specifically has been, something that I've been a part of now for several years. So it's pretty cool to keep doing that. And I don't, time is the only thing you don't get back in life. So I'm trying to enjoy like every moment. And sadly, this month of May has been the fastest it's ever gone by because of so much rain last week. So it feels like I've barely just got here. And it's also my only IndyCar race this year. So it's kind of, this year's a little bit different. So far.
As
But
we know.
but I love being here. I love being here, and winning obviously is the goal. That's why we show up. But also, I know that every year that I've created some incredible memories. Got to share that with my family and friends, and what could be better than that?
And what is one of those favorite memories, Conor?
Oh, I mean, every year there's something amazing. I like to always bring some people as well every year that I've met that have never been to the race. So I think seeing people's faces when they have experienced it for the first time is really, really cool. My odd tradition is going to the snake pit every morning before the race because a lot of those performers have never been to this race, and like seeing their face at like 9:30 in the morning, like what in the world is going on here, is one of the coolest things ever because it's like, welcome to the freaking show. You know what I mean? Like this is it. Like this beats all of your music festivals by 1,000 because of the literal people here. Now again, there's amazing experiences. Not to degrade any music festivals, but this is just physically the biggest event in the world. So like it is truly unique.
Yeah, I'm definitely coming with you this year. I want to do that snake pit run.
We'll get
Have
a golf
you not
cart.
done the snake pit run?
No.
Really?
I went to. I watched the race in the snake pit once.
Oh.
And I saw, and this
The
is true.
old-fashioned snake pit
Yes.
back before
I want
the
to say
music.
90s, mid 90s.
Man.
I saw, and this is true. No less than 5 people that had Q95 shaved into their back hair.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing
Strong.
we're dealing with
Yeah, baby.
in the snake pit. That was very strong. So
That's passion.
It's a lot of passion.
I'm not going to tell you what I used to see in the snake pit back in my day.
Yikes.
It was a whole different ball game. I saw my first.
Yeah.
Fill in the blanks.
Yeah,
Fill
it
in
was
the
something.
blanks.
Well, we used to have senior skip day because I went to school right down the street.
Oh,
Yeah, and we
nice.
would do this big senior skip day. You grew up down here, you know.
yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
Everybody came to the track, and boy, it was a free for all.
I respect
Only
that.
imagine.
Yeah, we're
The
kinda
streets
getting
were
off-
wild back then.
It's still a great time. We don't want to let people think that it's not.
Yeah, but we got Twitters and stuff now, so
Yeah.
sadly you can't do anything fun
can't do
anymore.
anything
you know what I mean?
fun. I know.
Everything's on the internet.
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
internet never forgets. Sadly.
Boy, isn't that the
Never
truth?
forgets. One of the things I love about you as well is that how good you are at both commentating, and your podcast is so good. You have a great insight. Obviously, I mean, not obviously, I'll ask the question. Is that something you'd be interested in really carrying on? You enjoy it?
Yeah,
It's too soon to say.
well, no, I mean, I love talking about racing, right? It's also easy for me to talk about because I know what's going
Right.
on. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And when you know about something, and when you can, I have a passion just for sharing what we've got going on because I think if you're talking about the NBA or the NFL, well, everyone knows about the NBA and the NFL, and like if you have a show about it, like. All right, well, that's cool. You can offer some different takes about it, but like we literally have a sport that I think is just undervalued and underappreciated, and so like I love sharing it with folks any way that I can because it's important because this is also what puts food on my table. So I would like to continue to do this for a long time. I would like this sport to grow to a level where I think it deserves to be, and obviously this event is still, this event over anything else is still the biggest in the world, and it does get an amazing amount of attention. But like, there's also a full season of racing that people can appreciate more than I think they do. So that's what I would like to just be able to give to people is like, hey, I'm going to let you know what's going on here if you don't know about it, because I think you should know about it.
How do we access that information?
Well, my podcast is on every podcast platform. Speed Street Podcast. It's great.
All right.
It's also on YouTube as well, the video episodes. Drew was one of our first guests on
That's
the show.
right. I was going to say
2 years ago now,
let's
or
go.
like
You're
years
a
ago.
podcast store.
It's,
You're one of
it's
my
only
first.
gotten better since then. Trust
It's
me,
only
guys.
gotten better,
They,
yeah.
they got much better guests since
We were
then.
really breaking the ground.
They're
Yeah.
like, we got to get somebody.
Yeah.
Let's get Powell.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're going to be on my podcast coming
Heck
up.
yeah.
There you go.
Everybody's
Can't
podcast.
wait.
I
got a lot of things to say, guys. I
It's
got a
important.
lot of things
Yes,
to
you do.
say.
It's important. Someone's got to say them.
Someone's got to say them. Exactly. I have a question from a listener named Amy. I don't know if you know
gosh,
Amy.
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
And Amy from Los Angeles says, what's it like for a legendary race car driver to get a parking ticket in May?
I did get a parking ticket 2 nights ago. Yeah, it's
I feel
a
like
real
you
shame.
you should not get a parking ticket if you're an IndyCar driver in May.
It
Was it
literally
in
says
Speedway?
No, it was downtown Indianapolis. It literally says driver owner on my car too, with the parking pass.
Come on, man. What we got to do?
And I paid for parking 6 minutes after I got the ticket. So I was, I don't know if I had there was a hit on me or
Yeah,
something
they were
like
they
something
were
was going
coming to
on.
find you.
But that was a real shame. I got to pay the parking violation, but I almost wanted to challenge you because I was like, I swear I paid for the
Exactly.
parking. Turns out 6 minutes is too
Let's
long.
talk to Mayor Joe. I think he's
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
be in the building. We'll talk to him, get that
Yeah, we
sorted.
can get that taken care of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Drew
yeah.
knows people.
I hope so.
I know people.
So how does your Sunday look?
I mean, honestly, I think we're in great shape, and I think we've been kind of flying under the radar a little bit. Like we haven't been posting big lap times and kind of crazy PR laps in the toe and stuff like that, but we've been good, and I feel very confident with our race car. I even felt really confident with our qualifying car too. We just kind of got a little bit behind the 8 ball with a couple different things, so. We know the cars are fast because we see where Ryan is starting,
Sure.
and he was able to have a bit of a smoother day than we did. But this race can be won from anywhere. We've obviously seen that. I've seen several people. I mean, we got last year's runner-up starting behind me, and we're in the second to last row. You know what I mean? So
That's amazing.
this race is kind of anyone's game. Anything can happen. We just kind of have to be methodical about it. Like, obviously, this is our only race, and I've learned a lot of patience over the years. I think the first stint, you get really angry immediately, and then you're like, wait, I got like 5 more stints to go. So it's
It's a long day, boy.
Exactly. So I feel confident. The guys have put in so much work into pit stop practice, which is obviously very, very important. We got a good pit stall too. Like we're the first pit box in, which I really enjoy. Get in, get service, get out quick. So we'll see. We'll see.
All right.
We're talking to a guy that has led many laps at
Sure.
this place, and not a lot of people can say that. So
That's true,
you know what
actually.
it's like to drive from the front, and I can't wait till you win it.
Yep. I
would be
always
nice.
say, you're due.
Thank you. Hey,
Yeah,
buddy.
what
you
better
are.
time to be due than right now?
That's
This is a perfect time.
Yes. Connor Daly has been our guest. Congratulations on being here.
Thank
and
you.
we can't wait to see you race on Sunday.
Thank you so much.
Thank
You the man,
Appreciate
brother.
that.
Much love.
Okay, let's get right to it. We have another Kvist. Our question of Kvists.
Swedish Army continues.
The Kvists. And pink's the operative color today. I noticed that, Shaun, you've got the pink swoosh.
Yeah, maybe we can swap kicks.
Yeah, these might match
Yeah, it
the
might go with my
hat.
team kit actually.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
we
like
should
No,
get one.
it's my understanding that the shoe guy is Santino. He's like got
yeah?
that's his thing
Shoe
apparently.
snob.
Shoe snob. Yeah.
Yeah. What do they call them? Not kickers, healers.
Sneakerheads.
Sneakerheads. Yeah, healers would be an insult.
Steelers is different.
So what's happening? You're here at the 108th run of the Indianapolis 500. You got to be psyched up and happy and ready to go, huh?
No, not really.
Okay.
He's like, I still got a couple days left, Tom.
Yeah. Well.
No, I am psyched. I mean, damn, I haven't even been to this race, and I'm like,
Like you haven't.
no, I thought I'd just do it instead.
That's great.
So
That's great.
I'm excited. I mean, I didn't even know what to expect on Sunday, so I've been told, a load of things, but this whole couple of weeks has been pretty cool.
What was the first lap like? The first lap on this track.
Terrifying. Yeah.
Thank you for saying that, because that's what it would be for me for sure.
I did my first lap, and I was like, because you have to do this rookie orientations. You have to do different speed. You have to start at 205 mile an hour, then 210, and then 215 plus. So then you just as fast as you can go. I remember doing the first one, trying to get this 205, and I'm like going round. I'm like, okay, that's 180 something. I'm like, ooh.
Okay.
I was like, damn, this is yeah. So I was like so tense. I remember that night I slept like a baby.
I bet.
Yeah.
Wow. Now there are going to be a lot of people here. I'm sure you've heard. More people than you've ever seen before. They think this may be the largest aggregation of people in the same place.
Non-religious.
Largest
non-religious.
Yeah, but we have seating in toilets, which is advantageous to the. I'm sure the religious gatherings are a little more salty. What town did you grow up in? And
I'm a bit of a cocktail, to be honest. So my father's Swedish, hence the
name.
Kvist.
Yes.
Yep, hence the Kvist, which I don't even pronounce correctly. So
We're not the only ones.
I was born in the UK.
I was going to say.
I was born in Cambridge.
You just said father, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
That is.
I was born in the UK, but I grew up. I moved to New Zealand when I was 6,
Oh my gosh.
and I lived there till I was 15, and then I moved back to Europe.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
So it's a hard accent to pin down.
Yeah, exactly. I've kind of got one of those, when you go to New Zealand, they think you're British, and then when I'm in England, they think I'm Australian, and I'm like, no.
That's crazy, man.
Well, welcome to Indianapolis.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And have a great race. I asked this before the other Kvist, if you've already had. Race day, any particular things like do you wear blue underwear or do you have a Union Jack in your wallet or something?
I wear thong.
Thong? That's fine.
Makes you go fast.
Do you
Jandals, man. They're jandals. Man.
do you carry a wallet? In your racing stuff?
No, I'm not superstitious. Funnily enough, like there's actually drivers are funnily there's a lot of them who are superstitious, but I'm actually not. I'm pretty chill. Yeah. The only thing I have that I carry with me everywhere is my mum gave me a St. Christopher little necklace when I left because I grew up with my mom in New Zealand. When I left in 2009. And it actually broke a few years ago, but I still got the little piece, and I keep that in my wallet.
That's cool.
But other than that,
That's cool.
I'm pretty chill.
What's the biggest race prior to Indy here? I know you've done the Daytona 24 hours. Have you done Le Mans?
I've done Le Mans.
what-
So I guess, I'm guessing it would be Le Mans.
Yeah.
Le Mans pretty spectacular as well. I think last year they had something like 300, 200, close to 300,000 people there. That race is also pretty cool. So I guess after Sunday I'll be able to compare them.
They probably have better food. I'm guessing.
Right.
Yeah, but
They don't have breaded tenderloins?
Yeah, I doubt it.
Yeah.
Have you tried a tenderloin?
No, a tenderloin?
You've never tried a tenderloin. Big as your face,
This
pounded
big.
out,
Like
breaded, fried.
Pounded. It's like a pork cutlet, but it's that big.
I'd wait
And
till
it's like
Monday
got
to try
like
it.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't
Bread.
get free.
no, I don't
And then
think
they
I-
put it on a tiny little bun.
bun's
So
like
it's
this big.
I don't ever understood
What
that.
trick
is that like is that local cuisine?
It looks like here's a
Indianapolis.
relatable for you being English. It looks like the Elephant Man's face smashed up with a small bun.
Yeah, you guys are
And your
you guys are
heart
selling it
seizes.
to me. Yeah, really selling it. Yeah.
It is phenomenal.
Now, did you have to pick what kind of milk in the event that you win it?
Yeah.
Did you get what?
But I'm a whole milk guy.
Whole milk?
Yeah.
Go big or go home.
Yeah,
Come on.
exactly.
It shows up
Absolutely.
better in the pictures.
And then maybe
Exactly,
a
it's
Stein
more-
lager after.
I don't know about Steinlager.
That was the only New Zealand beer I could come up with.
Oh, really?
off the top of my
Not
head.
Lion Red?
Oh, no. Okay. All right, I'm writing that one down. Lion Red.
Lion Red or Tui?
Presumably, there's a period of time prior to getting in a race car. You don't drink alcohol, at least in contemporary
just
racing.
like 2 hours before.
You got to pass on the mimosa.
No. I had a glass of red wine last night, but only because we were at like a dinner, sponsored
it would've
dinner.
been rude not to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think I even finished it, so that was poor form. But I stay away from it.
Yeah.
Messes too much with my sleep.
Yeah. Did you and Scott McLaughlin know each other?
We actually raced against each other a little bit, like very briefly, when we were go-karting growing up. So I've known him for quite a while, actually. Yeah.
Now, do you get to choose what your helmet says? Is that still a thing?
What do you mean?
Your helmet, does it have like a logo?
Well,
on
we
it?
every drivers' helmets are like their own personal identification, I guess. So yeah, you get your own, you design your own helmet or get your own paint job. Cool. I did a specific one for this race.
Really?
Yeah, I mean it's similar to my original design. I just changed up the colors. Actually, included some of the colors of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway logo, like with the flags, basically the flag colors. Kind of more retro and pretty basic looking, but I think it looks quite nice.
That's cool.
What's Michael Shank really like?
He comes across. He likes really crappy beer.
Busch Light, right?
Busch Light.
He's a big Busch Light guy.
Busch Light.
Yeah.
You sure he's
Crappy
not from
beer. I mean, that's
Lebanon, Indiana?
tenderloins and Busch Light.
Yeah, he's Busch Light, fried chicken wings.
Man of the people.
Yeah, he's a man of the people. No, he's honestly he's such a genuine. Like I really rate. I love working with the team. Like honestly, they're such a great bunch of guys. But they're also hard racers, and want to win as well, right?
Yeah, sure.
Before we go, where do you live now, full time?
Now I'm in Miami, Florida. Yeah, I went down there. I have a bunch of friends down there, and I don't know. I'm bad in the cold weather.
Really?
Fair enough. Yeah.
Okay,
It's a
so-
good thing you didn't have to stick in Sweden then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I knew. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Tom, what a great pleasure. Best of luck.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate
Let's
it.
go,
Thank
buddy.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Scott Dixon is our guest. Great to see you again, Scott.
Hello.
Yeah.
We were told by one of the fellow Kiwis. I had mentioned that I was talking to someone who knows all the drivers very well. Works in the. I said, "Who's the nicest guy?" And they said, "Scott Dixon is the nicest guy." And then your fellow Kiwi said, "Don't tell him that."
I thought it was going to be some kind of sheep joke or something.
He's heard them all. It was actually your teammate, Marcus.
Oh, really? Yeah.
He said, "Don't tell him."
Yeah.
But then
I don't know. He was so full of BS the entire.
Yeah, we
Oh,
couldn't
really?
tell.
Like, he was-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Number one BS guy. Yeah.
He is witty.
Yeah.
He is really funny.
He's that's weird coming from New Zealand. Huh?
I don't know.
It's
Flight
weird.
of the Concords. There's some good
There is
comedy
some,
coming
there's
out
some
there.
funny people, man.
Reese.
He's some funny people. He's a good dude, though. He's a great teammate, and he's doing well, man.
Well, that was the other thing he said is that you were his idol growing up, and so to be on the same teammate. I was thinking about as an actor, like if I got to be on the same team as my favorite ever guy.
Who's the best guy you've been with that you loved as a kid?
Yeah.
That's a great question.
On the spot, man.
You were just spot. I know. I'm like I'm going the IMDb page right now.
Brought it up.
I did. I know. Man, I just worked with Javier Bardem, who is really a good actor.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Let's get back to me on that.
You were just on Curb.
Yeah, that's right.
You're in a commercial right now.
Larry David, that's right. Yeah, the only person that's on TV more than me is this guy. 'Cause he keeps. I mean, you're everywhere, and you're so freaking good. Like, are you going to go for another 10 years? Like, what are we doing?
I don't know, man. I
You
think
could.
Yeah, it's my 21st Indy 500.
21st.
Starting in the 21st position, so that's
Wow,
good.
that's a good omen.
And it's
Number guy.
100 years since the person that last won from the 21st position this year.
Let's go.
Hey, so they should just give us a trophy now, right? Give us a trophy now.
My DraftKings account out.
Yeah.
Booking it
Put
right
some
now.
in.
That's going to screw up the algorithm. But yeah, no, it's fun. I love it. I don't see anytime soon, checking out. And I got people like Helio that was just on here. He's 50 next year, so he's flying that flag, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you're 21st. Like, where does that put you in the overall rankings? It must be up there.
Nah, there's people like AJ and Murray. Those guys did it for a lot of years. I don't know how many. It's somebody would know around here, but 30 or 40
I feel like
years.
Marco said he was 19 and he was getting close to top 10.
Yeah. So it's
impressive.
maybe it is that close. I have no idea.
We'll get it. We're gonna get our best guy on it. Can we find out who that is?
And you were saying you don't get back to New Zealand much?
No, I don't, man. It's. I wish I did. I was actually back in October for my dad actually passed, so I was back there for that. And then the previous Christmas, we had taken the whole family down. So it's a big trek, man, with 3 kids, a 4-year-old, especially a 3-year-old at that time. So,
do you have any products that you advertise just in New Zealand?
No. No, New Zealand's too cheap, man.
Well, but I will say this. I went to a Comic-Con in Auckland, and I got on that Air New Zealand plane, and they had a whole thing. And you were. I was like, Scott, there he is. Let's go.
That's when Air New Zealand used to give us free tickets, man. Not anymore. Go fly a different airline now, man.
Oh, yeah.
No. They're great. They're a great company.
The new PNC commercial is pretty awesome.
Oh, the brilliantly boring. Yeah, a lot of people,
I think it's a cool approach to it.
That came up in the press conference today because they asked, I think, Helio or Marco about, do you think Scott's boring? And I'm like, it's not the whole pretense of it. But PNC have put a cool twist on. Banking can be boring, but
it's good when banking's boring.
It is. It is. That's exactly how you want it.
Yeah.
But it's the same with our process too, man. Where you're training every day and all the data and stuff that you look at. For most people, that's going to be boring as hell. Obviously the race itself is pretty cool and pretty fun.
Yeah.
They've put a cool twist on it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Do you have any pre-race rituals of any kind that are interesting, funny, or private?
Some people go a little crazy. I think I've had teammates that do things, but it's small stuff. Right sock before left sock, or right. Dan Weldon would always tap the car 3 times before he got in. I'm pretty much just need to eat.
Yeah,
because you don't want to be hangry, going into turn 1 at that point. But I try to get a nap in. If the race is later, I try to get a little bit of a sleep in beforehand. Kind of relax a bit,
That's nice.
Yeah.
Have your people given you the latest forecast weather-wise? I know there's off and on rain they're saying, but
you can't control it, man. So I don't even look at it. We'll obviously look at it strategy-wise on the day, but I feel like most of the time now the race is stopped for any kind of caution or anything. So the weather, I think they would maybe even move it to the Monday if we get into a scenario like that. But I think rule-wise, anything beyond halfway is an actual race. So
does that make it crazy though? That it could be 2 races within the race that everybody's racing to lap 100, and then you kind of play it out from there.
Yeah, you got to keep the big picture in mind too, right? Obviously, if it screws up your whole strategy for the rest of the race, puts you to the back of the field, then you got to be careful of that. I think through the whole history of my IndyCar career, I think only once weather has worked into the favor of the strategy that we did. And I think it was Nashville, maybe in 2012 or something like that. And we stayed out by accident, but then it rained. It rained and we won the race.
Was it 07, the TK, they kind of raced to the 100 and then they restarted and Dario came back and won. They only restarted for 5 or 6 laps.
Dario, we were the car that finished second. So I finished second to Dario, I think, in maybe all of his 500 wins.
I think it was.
Is that right?
And
they all finished under yellow.
Under yellow, yeah. He's the yellow king over there.
Yeah.
But we were the only one on that strategy, and he actually had a puncher. They put him under the same strategy as we did, and then they red flagged it. Yeah. And we had lap traffic in I think it was Sarah Fisher.
Marco flipped too at that.
It was a wild. There's been some wild races here, man. Wild races.
I hate to think how long ago that was.
Yeah.
2007.
Man. I know.
Yeah.
Gee whiz.
How was the half a sculpture of your face on the Borg Warner? Is it a pretty good?
I look good, yeah. A lot of the other people look horrible, man. TK is like an extra handle, with his nose.
Well, let's see what you got to get a young one and then
an older one. I look the same, man. I look the same.
Reuse the picture.
Dario's is kind of cool though because you go through the transition of like when he had a shaved head to the flowing locks, So it's pretty cool to see some of them on there, and they do a good job.
Yeah,
they do a really good job.
How did you like the qualifying? with the
qualifying
format.
sucked, man. Yeah. No, it did for us. We had a lot of trouble.
Why is that? You guys were so fast last year.
Yeah, I think it's weird, right? Because probably the last 4 years it's been really us, our team fighting for the pole, and then this year we had a string of issues, and obviously I think Alex was the furthest Ganassi car on 14th. We changed engine and gearbox, missed our spot in qualifying, had to qualify later in the day, and starting 21st. So any kind of slip, but like that. Pack in the middle, man. I think an extra 0.2 miles an hour would have put us up like 6 spots or something, or 8 spots. So it's tight in the middle.
So that's Helio, and who else is in your row?
Marco.
It was like the veteran row.
Yeah, it is.
That's
It
right.
is. We'll probably take each other out before we get to the green flag, man.
Now I know the tattoo on your wrist.
Oh yeah.
What's the significance of that?
Oh, it's a bad one, bro.
Those are the best kind.
No, it was my wife. So I'll try and keep it short. But she went on a girls' trip.
Yeah.
Her and her 5 friends. So then they all got drunk and they're like, let's get a tattoo for our, friendship group. And my wife went first, and then the other 5 bailed out. So she had the tattoo, and then because she got me drunk one day, I decided it was a good idea to go and match her.
Yeah, that's a good story.
A little corny,
that's a
but
good husband, man.
hey, it's
Come on,
it's good.
Talk about an ultimate bailout.
I've done dumber things for Chris.
Me too. Don't worry.
At your house, do you have like a little room or a big room where you keep all the stuff, or is it all boxed up? And
yeah, no real racing stuff, man. I have just in the office, I have the 6 championship trophies, the Borg Warner, and then a couple of Sportsman of the Year ones from New Zealand. So I don't think we have any racing stuff in the house. None at all. Pretty calm and pretty clean, man.
Yeah.
Do you have
the team takes all the trophies and all that kind of stuff.
Do you have any photographs of any famous racers?
No. I do of Bruce McLaren, an autographed one that sits in my office. I have a couple with maybe Dario and Tagliani and Dan Weldon and a few like that. So
that's cool.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
Yeah,
That's really cool. Well, thanks for your
Class
time.
act.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
And the world's best husband.
Oh, yeah, man. Tattoo and all. Let's go.
I like those a lot.
So, yeah.
She knows what you like.
Exactly. So,
Yep.
no complaints. She's
So wait a minute, you guys are 13?
13, yeah.
Well,
yeah, exactly.
We should probably introduce our guest. Santino Ferrucci is here with us.
Yeah.
Great race car driver.
Thank you guys for
And
having me on.
I was just saying earlier, and also shoe guy.
Yeah, sneakerhead.
Sneakerhead. I remember that about you immediately. Have you designed any sneakers with all this love you have for them?
No, I just like the Jordans that come out and the occasional couple other shoes, some dress shoes and stuff like that, but nothing crazy.
Last year you had some, though, that were specific to you, weren't they?
Yeah, so a guy named Chuck hand-painted a pair of shoes, hand-painted a pair of Jordans to match the car livery last year.
Nice.
So those are sitting because they're hand-painted and they're oil, they're sitting in a case at my house on display. Because, those are really, really cool.
Do you wear everything you buy?
Of course.
Yeah, I know. I've got buddies who are like, why would you wear those? I'm like,
you
if
gotta
I'm
wear 'em.
buying them, I'm
Absolutely.
wearing them. No one's coming to my bedroom.
Who
and
are
looking
you
at them.
saving them
Yeah,
for,
exactly.
man?
That's what I said. Same thing.
What?
If I'm
Wear
buying,
them.
I'm wearing.
Yeah.
Life's too short.
Yeah.
Do you have to get your wife's permission to wear anything?
No. Well, I mean, I have to get my wife's permission for everything. I mean, but that keeps me from being a total jackass. I mean, I'm already partial jackass. I'd be a total jackass without her help.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you know how it goes. How long you been
Santino,
married?
can I ask you about the tattoo?
Oh, yeah.
I've
That's
had it
gorgeous.
No, I've had it. I've had all since I've been in IndyCar. So
Really?
yeah, IndyCar's seen it a bunch. It's been on NBC. So
Nice.
Yeah,
Represent.
Is that a Superman on the
Superman on the inside. Yep, all my lucky numbers on the outside on the stopwatch.
a stopwatch. Oh, that's so cool.
Yep.
Yeah, of
so
course.
I've had it's probably
spark
7
plug.
years old. Yep, spark plug, gears, pistons, flag on the top.
That's cool.
So yeah, I've got about 36 hours into it. So this was quite detailed and quite a process.
I guess.
I wonder how many of the guys have tats. We saw the little tiny one.
We saw Scott had one.
Super proud of.
But he hides it under his watch band.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He said he got it because his wife got one, and then all her girlfriends bailed, so he did one so she wouldn't be alone. So it was a nice touch,
That's
but a little
nice.
different than that.
Now, are you going to hold it with just that one, or
Yeah, because normally when I'm not wearing skin tight T-shirts, you can't see it. I'm almost always in golf shirts or long sleeve dress shirts. So keep it professional and clean.
Where will the Borg Warner go when you win it? You put it like
I'll probably save that one for the leg.
There you
Just
go.
right down the leg.
Yeah,
Just big old.
Wait a
board.
minute. Who has the Borg Warner?
Tony Kanaan has.
Yeah, that Tony
DK.
Kanaan.
Yeah.
That's
Borg
right.
Warner.
I remember she showed it to us.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to try this on. You ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Here we go.
Oh, you got him. I love this.
Almost.
That don't fit my head. Come on.
There we go.
There we go.
Look at this.
All right, since we're going.
There we go.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Let's go.
Santino Ferrucci.
We got the hair.
This is made for tiny heads.
Sorry, I've been wearing a hat all day, so I
It
don't know.
looks good.
Yeah, I don't know.
I want this.
Oh, that's
Where do you get
epic.
this hat?
Where do I get
That's
this
the
hat?
one. That's the hat I want.
So this is the friends and family.
That's the one I want.
You got to
is
race for
friends and
AJ
family.
Foyt,
You got
boy.
the Pope top, so it sticks straight
So-
up in the rope hat.
I made these.
That's awesome.
really?
I made these for me and my boys.
Nice.
So it has my logo on the side. It's got the coyote on one side.
Love
Then my videographer over there and photographer, he actually designed this because
Nice.
he went to SCAD and he's smart with computers. So he designed this in all of about 30 seconds, roughly. And they printed them, and we just got them delivered today.
Nice.
Today.
Fresh.
Yeah.
Well, there's got to be like 2 or 3 sitting around still somewhere. I got to be able to
They're
find
in my
them.
buddy's car.
there you
I
go.
had enough to get mine, and then that was it. But yeah, they're the friends and family special.
That's
limited
fantastic.
quantity.
Well, it's a good
That's
one.
good.
That one should be.
You know what? I might sell a couple, donate, raise some money for
Yeah.
charity.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
So,
Well, speaking
see
of
what
charity,
happens.
I should mention Homes for Our Troops, which is what AJ's got going,
Yes.
along with the ABC.
Yep.
And it's a great program. Do you want to tell me a little bit more about it?
Yeah, so it's for our post 9/11 vets. So all of our, everyone that's been out there fighting for us, fighting for our freedoms. They come home. There's a lot going on, man. I mean, they're at war. They see a bunch of things, and sometimes they're not always best equipped to come back into civilian life. So Homes for Our Troops helps them with all the disabled vets with housing. Because they need custom houses. I mean, these guys are missing legs or arms and stuff like that. I've met a couple of them throughout my years here, and I hang out with a bunch of them while driving for AJ. These are some of the coolest guys, man. I thought what I did was really, really cool. These guys are out there in like choppers doing 230 on the ground level, shooting at things. Like
Yeah.
it is
Crazy,
insane. Like they have some videos and stuff. It's like sit and be like, huh. I'm not that crazy. That's another level of crazy. But
And
they
a lot of these guys need ramps and
yep.
very specialized
it's
equipment.
super specialized. They can cook. It gives them their life back.
Yeah.
It goes back to cooking, driving, living in their house without help. They don't need any aid once they have these custom houses. So it just gives them that piece of freedom for themselves.
Awesome.
Back. Yeah.
And I can real quick plug it because fans of our show can go to bobandtom.com/HFOT, which simply stands for Homes for Our Troops. So you can get on board and help out because it's a great program. We met one of the guys last year, and we'll be meeting them again. And how amazing this is, as you say, it gives them their life back.
Yes. And, it's a great charity. More than 90 cents to every dollar goes back into these homes. So it's really, really, really good that way. It's super sustainable.
And one super cool thing that I just found out, ABC Supply is matching donations in the month of May in honor of the Indy 500 up to $1 million. So if you make a donation, it gets doubled right away.
Yeah,
So
awesome.
Yeah.
how cool is that?
We raised almost $4 million last year. The goal this year is $4 million.
Wow.
So, they upped it a little bit. So that means we got to run out front, man. We got to lead some more laps.
Right,
Now,
absolutely.
you did fine in qualifying. You feeling pretty good about it? You're way up there.
Yeah, we're second row again, so I'm pretty happy about that. This year on the outside of row 2, which I'm even more stoked for. Inside row 2 wasn't really my thing. I don't like the bottleneck from the 3 leaders. I want to have the freedoms of being on the outside, looking in. And, race car's good. I mean, if we had this conversation a week ago, I would say that I'm not really sure where we are at all. But sitting here today, I'm very confident in our car. I feel like we have one of the better cars on the grid, and balance is solid. Just be curious to see what happens on Sunday.
And you gave all the information to the Penske's that got him up front.
Well, if you ask them,
They didn't say any
if
thank
you
yous.
ask them, we didn't help.
There was no
But,
thank yous.
There's a lot of thank yous from engineering.
Okay.
But it's a vice versa relationship. I mean, we're all running our own setups, so they're not wrong there. But the setup's not what makes the car go fast. That's a balance.
Yeah.
The setups is, what makes the car go fast is beyond the setup, and that's the information that we had. But I run their dampers.
Yeah.
I love their dampers. You just got to tune on it a little differently. It took us a little longer to figure out here, and yeah, like I said, it's a very great
Michael
relationship.
Cannon, a big part of that?
Yeah, he's one of it.
Yeah.
It's a lot more than what meets the eye, which is great. So they said we don't want to get into it too much, but yes, it's we love the partnership. It really helps us on our road street course programs. And like I said, if we can help them here at the Speedway, which is their home track, and obviously Mr. Penske's place facility. Yes.
He's everywhere.
Yes,
He's everywhere.
he is. Well, I can't thank him enough for what he's done around this place. I mean, it's beautiful. Even the golf course, man, where I just came from.
Now, how's
I love it.
Mr. AJ Foyt doing?
Oh, he's still feisty, man. He was great. He was up. We were running on Monday, and I had some issues with the car, and I was trying to go through the feeling. We had a really searchy front, and once we fixed it, we had a really grabby rear, which in layman's terms, it's not loose, so it doesn't slide. But when it steers itself, it's a little scary. So he listens to me on the intercom, and he's asking me about driving, and then setup changes.
Wow.
I mean, dude, he's still. It's kind of funny because he'll cover the mic and be like, Larry, Larry, like, tell him to do this, and you're just kind of like, I can hear him. It's great.
That's great.
It's great. I love it. Like, he can just tell me, like, it doesn't need to go third party. No, it's awesome. He's on it, man. He's on the ball.
Wow. Well, that's great. Well, thanks for your time. And how busy you are.
Good stuff.
Oh,
Great
thank
stuff.
you guys.
Yeah,
Good luck
buddy.
with the shoes.
Go fast, baby.
Hey,
Go
let's
fast.
raise some money for this charity,
do
boys.
it.
We got a
Yes,
$4
sir.
million goal to hit. So
Absolutely.
Once
do
again,
it.
And I love the hair.
bobandtom.com.
Yeah, exactly.
Good?
I've
Yeah,
never
keep
seen
the
Tom with hair.
It's
It's
Couple of
amazing.
amazing
I'm
pictures
keeping
of
this
Tom with
thing.
long hair in his
Oh,
office.
man.
bobandtom.com/HFOT. That's HFOT. Homes for our troops. And the great Santino Ferrucci.
Let's go.
Sounds like a guy in the circus, though. And now, on the
The
high
great
wire,
Santino.
Santino Ferrucci.
thanks.
Okay, what just happened?
So I put my phone on his arm, and then it told me that I could buy his shoes. I think I'm simplifying it a little bit.
Then
but
what's-
that's
No, no,
essentially-
Then what's he going to wear?
That's the best explanation I've ever had.
Okay, now help me out. I want you to pronounce your name exactly the way you want it said.
Oh my goodness, you ready?
No.
Romain Grosjean.
Romain Grosjean.
Okay, well, now that you've
That's been good.
Yeah,
Yes.
Romain Grosjean. Yes, I learned my good buddy Simon Pagino. Simon, thank you. Simon, see, and that's the problem. See, I end up going back to my American roots, but it's not right. Simon Pagino and Romain Grosjean.
Grosjean. Grosjean.
It's not that hard. Means Big John, by the way.
It rhymes with only French word
So
I
we
know.
had Linus with his penis, and we have Big John
With fromage.
with fromage.
Fromage,
No.
yes.
Is that close? Is that close?
Yes,
that means
cheese.
that means a
Fromage.
large
Fromage,
cheese.
absolutely.
So let's start with the important stuff. What's the story on these shoes? You said you designed them.
Yeah.
They're incredible.
Yeah, it was-
Can you
I was-
show it to the camera without
that's
breaking
the-
your
well, I'm
leg?
gonna there we go. Look,
Look.
mid top. It's got this is seatbelt material. So
Is it
that,
really?
that material is like what
Oh, that's
race
awesome.
car seatbelts are made of.
So good.
There's a comic inside. I designed the. I like the blue. I wanted a bit of pink from Miami. There's 2 racetrack hidden in the design.
Are they actual tracks?
Yeah,
What
it's
track?
Bahrain and St. Petersburg.
Okay.
Bahrain, my
Yeah,
accident,
yeah.
of course, and
right,
St.
of
Petersburg,
course.
which is the opening of the IndyCar season.
Yeah.
And
that's
my
great.
home race in the States.
so
I
are these
love it.
are these available for people to get?
Yeah,
That was what the thing you were doing with the.
correct. Yeah,
Yes.
they
Oh,
have
that's
an
very cool.
NFC chip, so when you tap the shoe,
The only way you can get them though is to find Romain and then put your phone. So there's going to be a lineup after the Indy 500 of people with their phones. He's really a giver. He's willing to give for his sponsors.
So now you're another Miami guy, huh?
I'm a Miami guy, yes.
It's becoming a thing. I feel like.
Well, you know, when you can choose wherever you want to live in the U.S., why would you not pick Miami? It's sunny weather, it's good food, it's good culture. It's a bit, okay, you have to travel a little bit more for the races, but hey, worth it.
Yeah.
Is that probably the home of the most now?
I mean, so far that we've interviewed, it's 3.
But
out
then
of 5.
some veterans. Elio lives there, though, right?
Helio
Yep.
lives there, Tom Blomqvist.
Yeah, one of the
Myself.
quists. Does Rick
Pietro?
Mears still live there?
Oh, yeah, Pietro.
Yep.
Okay.
Rick
well,
Mears.
Rick lives in Florida, doesn't he? I don't know. I thought he
He
lived
seems
down
like
there.
a Miami guy. He seems more like North.
Well, he seems like Miami
seems like
Vice to me.
Jacksonville.
Rick Mears is a badass.
Oh yeah, no question.
I don't know if that's a
Let's
compliment.
ignore our guest and talk about Rick Mears. So, we were talking about unusual things you might do race morning. Do you like not eat? Do you eat? Do you do a sensible shake, 4 cups of coffee and a shot? What's your thing?
A lot of coffee and I eat, brother. I'm French, so I eat anytime. Even when I'm sick, I eat.
Wait, I guess I'm French. Hang on a second.
Wow.
I didn't realize that till right now.
That's a good excuse.
Exactly. That's great. But so, is it like? I mean, you must be naturally wired on the morning of an Indy 500, right? You're already.
Well, first thing first, they go with the cannon. The cannon goes off at 6 a.m. So
Are you awake
the
before
old
that?
bus moves so much, you jump like. I mean, it's unreal.
Are you awake before that though?
No.
That
Absolutely, I
wakes you
sleep
up.
so much.
Yeah.
I sleep, and then it goes off, and then you jump in your bed. What's going on?
Are you in a trailer?
I'm on the trailer. Yeah.
Is it in the no smoking area, or being French, do you have a smoking
No,
section?
no smoking. Yeah, no smoking.
no.
The only thing I smoke is meat.
Okay,
And tires,
hence
I
the
guess.
eating
I
thing.
love it.
That's good.
Any shenanigans in the bus lot this year?
Listen, it's been very quiet.
That's too bad.
I know. We're losing all the fun here.
Yeah.
We're being too professional and serious.
Welcome to our show. That's about to
Sirius
stop.
just left.
Well, so it's going to be a great race, 108th running of the Indianapolis 500. You are a official veteran.
Yeah,
That's got to be
Thanks
very
to remind
cool.
me I'm old.
Are you having fun? I mean, is it all business and interviews and driving and technical stuff, or do you have any fun, any laughs?
I think I got to a point in my career that if I don't have fun, I will stop.
Yeah, good for you.
I'm very lucky that I do it because I'm passionate about it, and I want to win every race. So as long as that's in me, I'll carry on. And the day it's not here anymore, do something else.
Yeah. Now, who's the funniest of your fellow drivers?
That's a good question. I'll say Pietro, Conor, Daly. Helio is quite funny.
Yeah, certainly.
Of course, forgetting some, but yeah, there's some good guy out there.
Now, your English is very good. I asked this before. Do you dream in French or in English?
I think in both. It's very complicated.
Goes back and forth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's going to be weird is tonight he's going to have a dream about me, but I'm going to be speaking French. So that's going to be wild.
Well, if he has a dream about you,
I apologize in
We can
advance.
start now if you want.
I hope it's not an erotic dream.
J'habite dans une maison.
J'habite ton maison. Coucou.
Coucou, yeah. That's quite a funny word to know.
Yeah, I told you I have some friends. I have French
Now,
friends.
helmets. You guys get to have a little bit of input in what's on your helmet. Do you have anything unusual on yours? Did you design that? I know you designed your shoes.
No, well, this year, no, I don't have a special helmet for the 500, but I have, since my accident in Bahrain 2020, my kids have been more involved in my racing career. So they draw, at start of the year, they draw something and it goes on the helmet for the whole year. So
Oh, that's great.
they used
What
to
a
have
cool
3
idea.
drawing for my 3 kids, right? And this year they decided to make me a surprise and they wanted to do the 3 together. So it's a big heart. It's got a 77 number on it. It's got their names and it's beautiful.
That's so cool.
And you have 3 kids?
I have 3 kids.
How
yes.
old are they?
11, 9, and 6.5.
Are they into karting or are they down that path at all?
Tennis, golf, and gym.
Do the
Fantastic.
sports you can do your whole life.
I'm buying as many new
Yeah.
shoes as they want.
Tennis and golf you can do your whole life. I mean,
Absolutely.
No, since the accident, they don't want to. Since my accident, they don't want to do racing anymore, and I don't blame them.
I don't blame them,
you know,
yeah.
but if they want to try, I give them a chance.
Okay, what was the first car that you owned, street car?
Alfa Romeo 147 GTA.
That sounds like serious, cool, and fun. I owned a Fiat Sport Spider. I bought it for $1,000, drove it for a week, and the windshield wipers both fell off.
That's why we have Googles.
But it was a Fiat, so it was great. It was a cool little car, convertible.
Fiat.
I drove it around New York City. That's a trip. A little
livid.
convertible driving around.
Vivid.
What do you drive now on the street?
Well, I have a Chevy and also Lamborghini Urus from the other part of my job, which is driving the Lamborghini in IMSA and Le Mans 24 Hours.
That's a nice perk to your job. It's like, well, listen, I got to drive the Lamborghini for work. What are you going to do?
I've got the Suburban. Then I've got the Lambo.
I got the minivan, but I can
Now, with
drive
3
the
kids, I have a Suburban, and I have many, many children. Some of them young, some of them probably your age. Well, that's a long story. Do you have a Suburban?
I do have a Suburban, and it's awesome. It's a beautiful car.
Yeah, mine's 10 years old, and it's my 5th one.
Okay, you can put 2, 3, 5, 7 people, and then 3 bikes in a boot, and it still have room.
And
They still have room for the Borg Warner, which can ride up
Oh,
front.
that's a great idea.
Let's go.
By the way, don't get the roof rack for the bikes. I had that. I got back to my house and forgot the bikes were up there.
Oh.
Ooh, that was
It's an
bad.
America's Funniest Home Video waiting to happen.
What an idiot!
Incredible.
No, I was driving. Well, what a great pleasure seeing you. Best of luck in the race. Whole milk, skim milk.
Oh, shoe
What did I
sizes?
pick this year? I tried skim the first year, so I went 2% this year.
Okay, good. That's
Oh,
the
2%.
key.
See
That's
if it's
the
more
key.
like-
So
You're
slender.
getting more mature. You're thinking about your health a little bit. I'm a size 13 on the shoe, by the way.
Double. 13 as well.
13?
12.
12.
Okay,
You
thank you.
little fella.
38.
Let's hear my man, Romain Grosjean.
Thank you
Big
so much.
John in the house.
We're joined by Rinus VeeKay. Hey, Rinus, how are you, sir?
Very good. How are you?
Thanks for coming. It's great to see you again.
Yeah,
You psyched up about the Indy 500?
I'm excited. It's going to be, my fifth. Hopefully, fifth time's the charm.
Go.
That's what they say, I think. I think that's what they say. 5th time's a charm.
From now on, they do.
Yeah, from now they do.
In the US of A. And we have a couple of rhyming names this year.
Oh.
Rhymes with.
You ever heard that before?
Oh, right. Oh, I just got that.
No,
Yeah, Linus
we
and
have
Rinus.
Linus.
Yeah, Linus and Rinus.
What's the other one?
Well,
Rinus rhymes with Linus. And also,
when you first came over here, did people point that out right away? When you say, how do you
Classy Americans,
How do
you
you
mean?
pronounce Rinus?
Penis with an R. That's it. They'll never forget about it, too.
Yeah.
they will never forget.
At the
Absolutely.
first sponsor meeting. Remember how you pronounce it. So you say this is the number 5, right?
Number 5, yes.
Wow, that's great. And how did you do the last 4?
Anytime out of pit lane, I was good. I've done some human bowling inside pit lane my first year, and then spun coming out of pit lane last year, unfortunately. But I've had every learning experience so far, so I should be all good to go for that win.
You've got it out of the way.
Yeah, exactly.
How long does it take you to get back in the groove when you get back here?
Usually to be fully ready for the race, I would say a half-day practice to be fully, get my timing right and everything the way I want it to be, where I can race super close and make the right decisions.
Are you one of the taller guys?
I think I am. And then there's Graham Rahal.
Yeah.
He's tall.
Yeah.
He's the tallest, but you don't have to add weight to the car though, because you're very slender.
I think we got 12 pounds of ballast in the car.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, because Sato, you think is the lightest? Is that your conclusion?
That's what I
Sato
believe.
or
Sato
Santino?
and Santino are
Yeah.
pretty, and Callum's pretty close, probably in there.
He isn't very heavy, no.
Is it one weight or is it like a couple that they?
I think you can
So-
distribute a little bit, right?
Honestly, I'm not joking. I think it's based off of Graham, who is kind of the heaviest, and then it kind of
They
goes
just
down.
go from that? Really?
I think that was kind of the measurement
It's
unit.
basically the Danica Patrick rule, right? Where there was a and this I could be way off on this, but I believe the rule came about because there was a advantage. They thought she was getting an advantage for being so significantly lighter than everybody else. She was barely 100 pounds, and so then they came up with the rule of like, well, we'll base it off of the heaviest driver, and everything has to weigh the same, the car, the driver combo, and the people who aren't will add weight to it, but you can put it wherever you want to put it. And so the advantage is still to be on the lighter side, but it took away the advantage of being significantly lighter than another driver and having a 100-pound difference in a car.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Is Rinus a common name where you're from?
it is. It's more like it's an older, more ancient name, I would say.
Yeah.
I'm named after my granddad, so I would say right now in the Netherlands there might be about 100 or 200 Rinuses, because it's not really the name you give to a newborn child anymore.
Right.
So, yeah.
That's kind of cool. Makes you really stand out then.
Yeah, that's true.
very
It's very. The name doesn't get more Dutch than this.
Yeah. Right.
So, who else can you speak your native language to around here?
Well, no other driver out here. Ari Leyendyk, of course.
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
You
Ari.
you must have
Ari's
known Ari.
Ari. Well, Ari was a good friend of the show. In fact, the first time he won it, we became his good luck charm.
Oh, really?
And we had Ari on. We were broadcast. Where was that? We were like at a record store or something, and Ari came in, and then he was on every year after that. He's a great sense of humor, very funny guy.
Yeah, I mean that's what I like about him when we have dinners. We we can say some stuff you can't say out loud sometimes. That's the Dutch humor. So
where do you live now?
I live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Another Florida guy.
So it's basically split between Florida and Indiana is where people live. I mean,
yes,
with
kind
a few
of
exceptions. Yeah,
honestly, yeah, I think that's true.
Yeah. Have you? How is it with being on Ed Carpenter's team? Because that dude really knows how to go fast around here. Is he? He's not racing this year, obviously.
He is.
Oh, he is racing.
Yes.
Okay,
he
good.
is racing.
So what's it like when you're racing with the team owner? Like,
I mean, it's the same against driving your teammate. You
Yeah, I
just don't
guess.
want to crash with them.
yeah,
But this one pays my bills, so
it is a little.
so you have to watch out a little bit. But I think if Ed is pretty honest, so if I pull some moves during practice or during the race, he's like, hey, just not because I'm the team boss, but just watch out because you might bring yourself into trouble even with another guy. So
Right.
I mean, he's a good.
That's good.
He's a very open guy. So if he does everything to help.
Yeah.
He can do anything he wants. He can say everything, just because he wants to help me.
Yeah, that's cool.
For the teams that seem to have a little bit of trouble in qualifying were teams that got themselves into trouble at some point in time during the week with crashes and things like that. You guys have a crash on Saturday, rebuild the car, and you go right back out and are just as fast, if not faster. Like, how did you guys, flip that, and how did how much confidence did you have, or was that nerve wracking to be able to get right back in the car like that?
I mean, looking at other guys, exactly.
Yeah.
I've never crashed the car until after qualifying. So
Yeah.
I didn't really know what was going to happen, and looking at other cars, especially like Marcus Ericsson,
Right.
who was in a fast, the Andretti is probably the fastest Honda out there right now, and he was fighting for the last row, and that made me worried a bit. Also, just crashing on his own, it's something you don't want to do, especially in qualifying weekend, and just great job by the guys to put the car back together, and I mean, to put it in the fast 12 was
That's unbelievable.
kind of insane.
That's
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
We've asked the other guys about who's talking to them during the race. During qualifications, is there communication going on, or is it?
Yeah, so my strategist, he just walks me through engine switches. So basically every lap I have to make a change on the dial, basically on the steering wheel. Just so, because the engine gets so hot, just for cooling purposes, basically. So that's all. And of course, he, it's words of encouragement.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite completely off? Which we're hard hitting journalists here, and we really want to get, as you can tell. So sometimes we just switch around. So I want to know, do you have a favorite? It's hard to say a favorite, but do you have a favorite movie? And do you tend to watch movies in English or more in Dutch movies? Or
I mean, I like a Dutch movie once in a while. It's kind of a nostalgic thing.
Yeah, makes you feel like home.
Yeah, we got some illegal streaming services that we can use in the US, but I mean, my favorite movie. I mean, I've been a fan of Incredibles, The Incredibles, since I was a kid.
That's a good one.
Such a good movie.
Yeah, I feel like I should play the live action Mr. Incredible. I'm built for it. Come on.
I mean,
I'm built for
I
it.
can see you sitting in that tiny car.
Yeah, thank you.
To work.
Exactly. That's what it looked like when I did the 2-seater with Mario. I looked like Mr. Incredible in a tiny car.
the mom from The Incredibles has maybe the most interesting physique.
Pixar knew what they were doing.
Bizarre.
Yes.
It is somewhat
That's a good
shocking.
call. That's true. I never thought
one of
about
those
that.
parent Easter eggs. I think it's thrown into.
Yeah.
Just a little something for dad.
Do you listen to a lot of music?
I do listen to music. I mean, it's not everything to me, but I like my music. Yeah.
Are you a soccer fan? Football fan? Sorry. Dutch football is
Yes.
Is a thing.
European football, American soccer. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But any particular music that you like?
I mean, it's kind of everything except country, but Chris Stapleton.
Good call.
Yeah.
He's great.
I'm with you
He's
on that.
great. He's great. What do you do to chill out the morning of the Indy 500?
Well, it's hard because they fire explosives when we are.
We keep hearing
We
about
keep
that.
hearing about this.
Someone
this
do
cannon,
something about
6
that.
a.m. cannon.
Does anyone know Mr. Penske? For God's sake.
I know. Exactly. And what everybody else has said is you literally jump out of bed.
I mean, they're loud. Like
Yeah.
are we in America or where are we?
Right.
So no, I mean, I just basically lock myself up in the motorhome, have breakfast with my wife, and we have a dog here now, very big guard dog, so we have to watch out with other drivers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
what kind of dog is it?
8-month-old Chihuahua.
By the way, those are very serious guard dogs.
Vicious.
Yeah.
Especially 5 feet away from anything.
What's the Chihuahua's name?
Rosa.
Yeah, she's pretty cool. She's nice.
That's great. Motorhome living with your wife and your dog and some explosives. I mean, I think you're turning into an American.
Yes. Just have to have some bald eagles circle around. Watch out for the dog though, because they're like
They may eat the
tiny
dog.
dogs.
Yes.
Yeah, well, we have some hogs in Florida, and like when she's in a neighbor or in the backyard, you can see them circling.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, that's scary.
It's a big rat.
My little dog almost got taken away by a bald eagle. It was a juvenile, so it didn't really know, and it came literally like 10 feet, and I went screaming. Like that's a real thing, man. That would have been traumatic for my whole family to see the dog getting carried away
The
by
big
an
thing
eagle.
lately in Florida is people walking their dogs, and sometimes the gator gets the dog, sometimes the gator gets the old lady.
This conversation is taking a turn.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Somehow we went from Chihuahuas and bald eagles to an alligator eating
talking
a
about
grandma.
In Florida, the old lady can eat the alligator. I mean, that could happen.
Happens all the time.
It's so true. Florida, man.
Well, so this has certainly been the most comprehensive interview.
We've
really covered
done
everything.
it all. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You will not have another interview like this today. I promise.
No, I like this.
Rinus, one more thing. Am I correct in saying there is a famous band from Holland? Wait a minute. Don't tell me.
From my lifetime, or
no? No, but what are they called? What's that song? Twilight Zone. Twilight Zone. Golden Earring. Aren't those guys Dutch?
They might be.
Man, come
Do you know the Venga Boys?
No.
Venga Boys. We like to party.
Yes.
They're Dutch.
Yes.
I found out a few years ago.
Yeah, Golden Earring had two. What was that? They had two hits. They had Radar Love. That's one of That's one of the best driving songs of all time. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, that's a great driving song. It's about a guy driving at night.
I know that.
It was in Wayne's World.
Radar Love.
So it was kind of in your lifetime. I'm not sure.
Still around.
Touche, Tom.
That was a shot.
Touche, Tom.
I'm just trying to see if the man knows his own countrymen. It's sad.
I mean, I've become American now.
Yeah, exactly.
We didn't know topography.
He lives in Florida now. He's a full-on American.
That's a different country than America.
That's a whole different country.
Well, thanks, Rinus.
Let's go, Rinus.
Thanks for having me.
My man.
We'll be quick and easy.
You guys have done a fair share of these today.
A couple.
By now, you're just like, wah, 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 wah.
Well, that's what's great is everybody's got a different story, man. So that keeps us on the edge of our seat.
And I'm kind of surprised how few tattoos we've seen.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
Can't see any of mine.
We're all clean.
Joking.
Do you have any?
No.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is I'm kind of surprised.
I liked Will Power's philosophy of now it's the guy without the tattoo that's hard.
Yeah.
Everybody
It's like,
else is
don't mess with that
conformed.
guy.
Everybody
Be
else
careful.
did.
Be careful.
I'll live with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to Indianapolis again. And
Home away from home.
we've been asking everybody kind of the same thing. Do you have a little routine in the morning of the Indy 500? Do you have no,
I just need to make sure I have the right nutrition in me, hydrated, all that stuff, good night's sleep. And then from there, it's just checking off things on the schedule that I have to get done, different appearances and different meet and greets and getting through that stuff. And, the nerves are going early in the morning and it's tough to sleep. It's tough to sleep past that when that cannon goes off. Yeah. I mean, it's just...
It's pretty intense.
Your mind's just racing from that point.
I would think the meet and greets would be especially difficult.
Yeah, it's pretty unique to our sport, I'll tell you that. Yeah. It's not like you have a NFL quarterback going up to the suites right before he takes the first snap.
Patrick Mahomes here. Just hope you guys have a great time.
Yeah.
I'll be down on the field if you need me.
Yeah.
Does it help take away the nervousness because you have to remember somebody's name?
No, it's just you're so locked in at that point. It's tough because you're just locked in. I mean, this
hard
is
to make small talk. I bet.
Right. Yeah, it's just hard to be extremely pleasant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Does the whole family stay with you here, or
Oh no, I like my sleep too much. I stay in the motorhome. And then I have them at a Super 8 just outside of town.
Budget. I mean,
they're in a Super 8 in Crawfordsville.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm sure they'll make it by start time.
No, all the guys what 5 of them live in Carmel or something?
Yeah.
Do they stay at home or do they sleep?
I think they stay here. It's also we spend any race we go to, we spend in a different place, right? We spend in a hotel or in the motorhome, right? And if you go home, you just get too. It's almost like you're too comfortable. You're not in the same kind of mindset.
Yes.
So it's different that way, but no, I think most of them stay in the motorhome.
What's your home base?
Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
You went to high school there, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
One of the only guys probably lives in his hometown.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
You've got
Who was the other
Kirkwood.
driver?
Kirkwood's from he's from down there.
He's at Jupiter.
Jupiter.
Yeah.
But in terms of hometowns, you've got Marco, who's going to leave Nazareth.
Yeah. Nazareth.
They own the whole city.
And the Andretti compound there.
Yeah, the compound, exactly.
I've heard that it's amazing. How did you feel about qualifying?
It was phenomenal. The fact that we're the only one-off team out there, right? Yeah. And to get into the top 12 in what is the most competitive series in the world is
huge,
awesome. Huge. Can't say anything more than that. It's just a phenomenal team by the job. Phenomenal job by the team to really to get. We're in there going up against these teams that are in mid-season form. So
that's great.
Yeah.
Do you get to drive a BMW while you're here, or do you have to drive from Mister?
We have an Infiniti SUV. Because of the size of the family, we need something big. So yeah. So thankfully, Dennis takes care of us on that. Ryan Bold.
I forgot he's got the dealership next door.
Exactly.
Several of them.
Yeah.
The sponsor this year is kind of an interesting connection. With,
really cool.
It's really cool. Tell us a little more about that.
So the main sponsor on the car is the Venture HR, but it is spun off from the 4-6's Ranch relationship. They are partners. And 4-6's Ranch is Taylor Sheridan. That's his ranch. That's where they shot a lot of Yellowstone at that ranch as well. They currently have their beef that you can buy online, right? Competitors to some of the others that are here, like Good Ranchers and stuff like that. So it's really cool. Having been just a big fan of the show, right? Yellowstone and all the prequels and all that stuff, and Taylor Sheridan's kind of approach to how he goes about his story, really. There's a lot of similarities between him and I, except for his bank account. But there's similarities there. And it's really cool to bring in another industry like that into racing, and cross-promote.
Yeah, well, listen, as an actor, I would appreciate a little good word to your boy Taylor, who I've auditioned for many of his shows and been this close. So you might be able to put me over the edge, right? I'd appreciate that.
Maybe
you ready to ride a horse?
I'll give you, absolutely. I played Haas Cartwright. I mean, come on.
I think that might be the problem. You look too much like Haas Cartwright.
That's right. Oh, I think it'll be all right. I think he can get over it. But this is going to put me over the top.
Yeah.
His partnership. When you win, which you will, then we're all going to win.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Here comes the big break.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I love it.
Which milk did you pick? What is it? You have a choice of what? 2% whole?
Whole. I used to pick 2% because that's like the milk I would go for in my cereal. But I'm like, what am I doing? I'm at Indy 500. Just go whole. Like, what's the problem?
Yeah.
It's not like
someone earlier today said the whole milk photograph's
better.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like watered down.
Right.
Yeah.
2% be a little water.
Is chocolate milk an option?
It's not an option.
No.
Strawberry. You have a quick strawberry milk.
It's quick.
Nice.
Well, listen, we'll let you go, and we had a great meet and greet with you.
Thank you guys.
We enjoyed our meet and greet.
Thank you so much, Ryan Hunter-Reay.
I can't wait to tell everybody that I got a job because of my race car driver new friend. So this is going to be great.
Don't hold your breath. How do you pronounce your last name?
In Danish, Rasmussen is in Danish.
Say it again slower.
Rasmussen. But I would say Rasmussen over here.
I want to say, when you say it that quickly, I want to go Gesundheit.
Gesundheit. Well, that's German. That's not Danish. But
Europe's a small place.
We'll say Prosit.
So, you speak English really well?
I try to, yeah. Sometimes I stumble across stuff, but...
This is such an international event, and obviously people come from all over the world, but it's amazing the grid, how many countries are represented.
Shoot, even in like however many we've had today, we've had probably 5 countries represented. It's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. Although I think you guys have the best pancakes for my money. Danish pancakes.
Danish pancakes.
That's it.
Yeah.
Trust me on this.
Yeah, I do. I do love them.
Do you know what I live in California, and there's a place that's just all Danish. It's Solvang.
Yeah, Solvang.
You know Solvang? So there's a place called Paul's Pancakes. I'm not getting any kickback from this. They have the best Danish pancakes in the world, but they won't tell me what the secret ingredient is. What's the secret ingredient?
Well, I don't know. I mean, when I make pancakes myself, I like to put vanilla in there.
Maybe that's it.
I haven't been there, so I can't.
So you add vanilla?
I can't talk to their recipe.
Okay, all right.
That's my secret.
Is it a texture? Like, you know what? What makes a Danish pancake
super
different?
thin?
Well,
super thin, right?
It's like they said in Talladega Nights. It's like a pancake, but very thin.
Good callback. I like that. Yeah, but that's vanilla.
It's like a crepe. Is what we would.
Is there a powdered Danish pancake box? Wait a minute. Those are Swedish pancakes.
Oh, yeah, with the powdered?
Honestly, we're getting pretty advanced now. I don't even know what the difference is.
It's all blending together.
Most famous Dane, Niels Bohr. You know him?
Uh-huh.
Of course.
Yeah.
Reaction from the crowd.
I know the
Niels
name.
Bohr, the
I
famous
forget.
physicist. He was
physicist.
the teacher of J. Robert Oppenheimer.
I'm public school educated.
Well done.
No
Niels Bohr drove an Offie. No, wait a minute. He was friends with Oppenheimer. I was close.
Oh, right. I saw the movie. See, I should have known that.
There's a statue of him.
Niels Bohr?
Yeah. In Copenhagen. That's where.
Amazing physicist. But let's talk about being at Indianapolis. How cool is this?
I'd say it's pretty badass.
Well said.
It's something that everyone is working towards for many, many years, and myself included. I started racing when I was 5 years old, and I still consider myself pretty young. I'm 23.
That is young. Trust me.
But even me, since I came to the United States in 2018, this has been the goal. So it's amazing to finally be here. Try to not think too much about it, of how big of a race it actually is, but how big of a deal it is. But just try and kind of do it as every other race. Same mindset of going in and just doing the best I can. And I feel like we have a pretty good shot at doing something pretty good this weekend.
Did you watch growing up? Did you watch the 500 at all? Was it available?
No, not really. Only ever since I got to the United States. I grew up on Formula One. That's kind of IndyCar at that time anyways. IndyCar wasn't really huge in Europe. So my appreciation for IndyCar has really come later in life.
I asked this before, and I'm always fascinated what your first lap was like on this track when you got here. What was it like?
Yeah, it's pretty intense. But actually, I was happy with how slow it actually felt.
Really?
I've during the whole month of May, I've never really gotten overwhelmed with the speed. Qualifying maybe a little bit. That's pretty intense. But overall, no. Especially with how we do the ROP program, and you kind of slowly get to build up to it. So it's been a great experience. At Carpenter Racing has been amazing at giving me the confidence as a driver and giving me all the tools as a driver that I need to have a great month and have a great race.
There's a guy that knows how to go fast. It's Ed Carpenter.
He knows a thing or two.
Any other Danes around here?
Christian Lundgaard. Is Danish as well.
First Danish 500 driver? I
believe so.
Right.
Yeah, he took me right up the inside.
Worked so well the first time, we'll do it twice.
Yeah.
Now, if let's just say something at a race is going badly, do you curse in Danish, or do you go to the good old American
That's
English?
a good question.
What's the Danish curse word that we should know?
For fanden.
What is it again?
For fen.
For fen.
For fen.
For helvede.
Defend you.
But we use a lot of the same, like, would be it.
That's universal. I think that's pretty universal.
It's pretty universal, yeah.
That's sort of international.
Right.
That one translates. Yeah.
In a series of dumb questions, this may be the dumbest.
Brace yourself.
Do you hear people using when you're over in Europe saying "okay"?
Yeah.
I have noticed that I've been in France and there's someone okay.
Yeah,
It's
like
kind of,
okay,
it's kind of become this
that means
international.
that's the same in Danish. Yeah. If you really, fun fact about okay, if you really want to piss off Lundgaard, spell it OK and not like OKAY. That really.
Everybody's got their thing. That's the
I
thing.
love that you know that about him too.
Yeah. We're pretty close.
That's great.
Guess what I write to him every time.
Okay.
Now, do you listen to music to get your head clear before a race?
Not really. I try to just. I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty chill. I just kind of hang around the car, talk to my guys, and I know some people have a really they have certain music they need to listen to and really need to get in the zone like that. But I don't know.
You seem pretty chill, bro.
Yeah.
How many people is just one person talking to you during the race?
Yes, only your strategist is talking to you.
And do you want a minimum of chat, or do you like to?
Actually, that being said, we also have the spotters here at the Oval. So we have a spotter in each corner. So we have 2 spotters and then the strategist. So actually 3 for the 500.
Who's your spotter in one?
Pecky Wheeler is in 1, and then I have a NASCAR guy. His name is John in turn 3. Great guys, both of them.
Those are important guys.
NASCAR John.
Yeah,
NASCAR John.
That's
I don't know. I don't know his last name.
That's a great nickname. I love that. Actually.
Do you like a minimum of chat?
Yes. I don't like too much, but it's Pecky's always great at cheering you on. So that's
Let's
nice
go,
too.
buddy.
Yeah.
I do think I want to just pitch this. Hear me out. I mean, just have a little bit of music in there. Everybody. I've never been in my car.
What would you listen to though?
I mean, if it's going well, you kind of some just chill, yacht rock maybe.
Okay, yeah.
Did you
a little classical.
There used to be a NASCAR guy that had a cigarette lighter.
Dick Trickle.
Dick
Trickle would smoke cigarettes in the car.
I've never heard about that.
If there was a long yellow, this is totally true.
Different time.
I think it was Tony
Different
Bettenhausen.
time.
Different era.
Yeah.
Famous picture of Tony Bettenhausen with his helmet on in a tube hanging out and a cigarette
No.
stuck in the tube.
Are
Look
you
it up.
serious?
Look it up.
Was it Tony or Gary?
Was it, I don't know. It was
That
a
sounds
Bettenhausen.
more like a
I think
Gary
it was Gary.
Gary Bettenhausen.
But yeah, it's a pretty famous
I don't
picture.
think. I don't think that would be you.
I wonder if any of the drivers even smoke anymore. They're all so fit. And
Yeah, it's a different era.
Yeah, it is a different
I'm always
era.
fascinated when the times that I've been around the drivers after the 500 and because it is a kind of a brotherhood that you guys have all gone 230 miles around a circle for 2.5 hours, and the kind of relief and the oval. Sorry, I think he might know it better than me. But do you feel that even as a newer guy that you feel the bond with these dudes?
Yeah, and I think also part of it is that everyone basically lives around here. Right. You guys just talked to Grosjean that doesn't. I guess he's down in Miami, but a lot of the drivers live around here, so we actually have a great little companionship.
Yeah.
Everyone.
So do you live here in Indy?
Yeah, I live just north of here.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
you live in Carmel?
I live in Carmel.
So you used to turn in the left, huh?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Carmel has
in all the roundabouts.
Carmel, Indiana has more roundabouts than any other city in the world.
Yes,
and I believe they're eliminating. I think they're down to 1 light. Wow. They're putting in the last.
Yeah, there's one on Main Street up in the Arts District, but yeah, I think it's 147 roundabouts in Carmel.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And
it's
the art, the art in the middle.
Yeah, the Arts District is pretty funny too. Yeah, you're driving around and then there's right where I think it's Main Street that crosses the Monon. There's this statue of a policeman that stands like this to stop you, but no, it gets me every time. I'm shoot!
Got me again! Damn you, Art!
But
that's great.
He never moves, so you're all right.
Well, Christian, what a great pleasure! Thank you so
much.
For joining.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it, guys.
Brother.
Yeah,
have a great day. Come through. What do you want us, Chris?
Drew, why don't you sit there? We'll have Kristi sit here, and then
you're in the hot seat.
Oh, okay. What? Oh no, it's fine. Don't worry. I put it on. Don't worry. Thank you.
So, where'd you grow up in Brazil?
So I was actually born and raised in Miami. Well, my parents are from Brazil.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I lived. I did a TV show called Gotham. We lived in New York, and I met so many Brazilians in New York, and they were the most fun.
Yeah. So
people.
we have a lot of Brazilians either in Florida or New York.
Yeah. Why is that? That's just where they go.
I think people are we want to go to New York.
West
City,
exactly.
whatever, or Florida where the weather is similar. So.
But I learned about those. What are those little dope balls?
Pão de queijo.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! And it happened to be that my friends from Brazil were 2 models. The guy and the girl were models. So we would go hang out with them, and they would but they would eat the worst crap,
you're good.
and they looked incredible. And I'm like, it's so not fair.
It's a cheat code,
What's it? Exactly. Brazilian genes are the cheat code.
I don't need to be here.
Oh, hey, Drew Powell. How's it going?
Mr. Powell, is it?
Good to see you, Mama. I just heard you on the radio. Wow, that's like magic.
Yeah,
You're a magician.
I drove like an Indy 500 driver.
You drove like him to get here.
Yes.
I love it.
I watched your grandpa drive. That's how I was
Oh,
driving.
really?
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that Marlboro car.
Hell yeah.
Oh
yeah.
man, oh man.
You've always been a racing fan?
I'm from Indiana, so I've been an Indy 500 fan.
Oh, okay.
And then I started coming, and I became friends with some drivers, and
Yeah.
that's a whole nother ballgame. Once you like start to get the inside scoop,
Yeah.
kind of like you growing up in it, you kind of understand. Then I was like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. It's also terrifying when you make a friend with somebody, and then they're out there going 230, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. I never got nervous before when it was just like some people.
Yeah.
When it's your buddy, it's like, oh God. But I mean, what
I
a
don't know,
trip.
what do
I
we-
got
I
to
mean-
do the 2-seater with Mario around Pocono.
Oh, yeah, that's a fast track as well.
Oh my God.
I don't know where
I think
that
he,
list
I think he
is.
got
Where's
to like
the list of
180.
people?
But you
And I
still
was
feel
like,
the speed.
You feel it. I thought I was gonna fly out of the
Yeah.
freaking car. I'm also huge, so I'm sticking. You know, and I'm like an inverted triangle.
Yeah.
So like I'm all out of the. I'm like I'm dying for sure. I'm gonna die. My head's gonna get chopped off. And you know, Mario was 76 at the time. So, and I started comparing him as we're going around the tricky triangle, like to other 76-year-olds I knew who could barely walk. I'm like, oh, he's gonna have a stroke. We're all gonna die. There was a lot of fear.
Where were you?
At Pocono.
Oh, because I did the 2-seater here with Davey Hamilton.
Oh, Davey Hamilton?
Yeah.
Oh, and I bet he gave you a ride.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Good
He goes, oh, we were only
gracious.
supposed to go, I guess.
Oh, good. Oh, we should have rolling the whole time. It's gold, baby.
Gold, baby.
This is gold.
Although nobody wants to hear us talk.
No,
they
they
want
wanna
to
hear him talk.
Yes. Pietro Fittipaldi is our guest. How are you, sir?
Very good. Excited to get the race weekend going. Although
Yeah.
it looks like it's gonna rain. You know, the chances of rain keep getting higher and higher.
We don't say
Yeah.
we don't say that word around here.
It started at 50%. It's at 80% chance now. So I hope it'll reset itself
Yeah,
before
exactly.
it gets
It's
to
gonna
zero.
come
It's
back
gonna go
around.
back around.
I like that.
Yeah.
I
We
like that.
don't ever look at that.
Yeah.
Ever, ever, ever. You should know better, young man.
I know.
So are you excited, though, about the whole experience of May? I always like to ask drivers, you're here to race, but this is a whole different ballgame in Indy 500. There's so many, you're pulled and, drugged, all these different events. Does that really affect the way you drive or the way you approach this particular weeks?
Yeah, it does for sure. The first year I did the Indy 500 was 2021, and I didn't realize how little media activities we did because it was the year after COVID.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a lot
Of
of things that were canceled, and then this year I was like, wow, we're doing a lot more than usual. And I thought it was because I'm with the new team, Team Rahal. And I was like, what are you guys doing? Why are we doing this? Like so many things. But it was actually because, in 2021, a lot of those things were canceled. So now I'm getting the full experience. It is, at times mentally tiring because when you have the days off and you have to do these things, it's great. It keeps you busy. But if it's in the same day that you're also driving the car, you're talking to the engineers, you're trying to work on things, it's like everything feels a bit rushed, But it's part of the process. It's the whole, Indy 500 experience, and it's just pacing yourself, making sure you conserve enough energy for when you actually have to go out and drive the car.
I always thought there's the marathon of the race, which I think doesn't really get talked about enough, that you are in that car for 500 miles for how many hours? It's
like 2.5.
2.5 hours, yeah.
Like, that's a marathon. It's also a marathon the months leading up, like doing the first race, then doing all the media stuff. So I appreciate that. You really gotta pace yourself.
Which brings me to this question. How do you stay focused and concentrated for 2.5 hours? Oh, the fact that you're going 240 miles an hour might have something to do with it.
Honestly, I think it's the adrenaline because I think that if you make a subtle mistake, you're going to hit the wall at like 230, 240, and you're going to feel it. So that
is a great motivator.
That really is the feeling of like in oval racing compared to road courses or street circuits. It's the only thing that even when you're going out for a little warm-up or you're in practice, you need to be at your game at 100%. Sometimes in a road course, like the team goes like, oh, go do a install lap just to warm the car up and go back in. And you're kind of like just chilling, whatever. On the oval, you have to be at your game 100%. Because you know that like if you crash the car and it's your primary car, it's not about hurting yourself, but it's we're gonna go with the backup car. It's gonna have no speed. So it's it's a thing that the ovals give you, is that adrenaline.
Do you ever catch yourself though, like kind of just for a minute, like kind of just zoning out or something? Like, does that ever happen?
So it does on when you go like on a test day on a normal road course and stuff. Ovals, never.
No,
you never. You can't. You're like, that's why it's so mentally tiring. At the end of even a practice day or after the 500-mile race, you're just like, I need a day off.
I was gonna say, how long does it take to recover from that?
It takes usually after the race, you're kind of fine because the adrenaline is still kicking, and then you go to bed, and then you wake up on Monday. You're like, shit, man, I'm destroyed.
I get that, boy.
Like the coffee is not going to fix this. 5 hour energy is not going to fix this.
No, you're not. Exactly. You're going to sleep for a while.
Yeah.
That's excellent use of sponsorship, by the way. 5 hour energy. Well done. Well done. Increase his salary, please. Well, you were telling me before this thing started rolling that you grew up in Miami. Is that right?
Yeah, I grew up. I was born and raised in Miami. My family's from Brazil. But I'm a 305 guy.
305, okay. You and Vanilla Ice. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's before your time.
You know the coincidence? I went to pit lane, and they have, now for the race, you have your pit box, and they have the driver's name. So I had my name, Pietro Fittipaldi, number 30, so 30. Then they had 5 hour energy, and by coincidence, it goes Pietro Fittipaldi, 30, and then 5. I had to take a picture.
That's a good omen.
It's a good sign.
That's a good sign.
It's a good sign.
Absolutely.
Wow. What are the comparisons between the IndyCar experience and the Formula One experience?
So very, two very different things. The Formula One, it's everything a racing driver wants in a car.
Mm-hmm.
So the car it's amazing. It's like a spaceship, right? Yeah. And the speeds you can carry through the corners are fantastic. Like the braking potential is unlike any other car. But what has given me the most adrenaline in my career is racing not only the Indy 500, but the ovals with an IndyCar, just because the speeds you're doing. I remember just going out for qualifying. I've never had my heart racing as much before doing any physical activity. I think my heart rate was at like 150, 160 before I even get in the car.
Oh, man.
And that's the only thing that gives me that feeling is driving an IndyCar on an oval, and especially for the Indy 500.
Well, it's always surprising to me how many people around the world don't quite get IndyCar. I mean, they're more so now, but do you find that when you're, going around the world that people, do they understand that part?
I get a lot of people, I think in the States they do, but a lot of people overseas, they see it as, it's an oval, it's easy flat out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, man, you're so wrong.
You try it if it's so dang easy. Yeah.
It's like, it's a fight mentally, like trusting the car, that the car is going to stick in the corner at 240 miles an hour. It's definitely not easy, and that's why I love it so much.
Yeah.
At what point did you know this is what I am going to do with the rest of my life?
So, the year I was born in 1996, my grandfather had stopped racing. He had a big accident in Michigan.
By the way, his grandfather is Emerson Fittipaldi, for those people who don't know. A legend, yes.
But so the year I was born, he stopped racing. But I had both of my uncles racing. So Max Pappas,
Sure.
He's racing Formula One and IndyCar. He's married to my mom's sister. Had Christian Fittipaldi racing as well, IndyCar. Like they're doing a lot, Daytona 24 Hours. So as a kid, I grew up going to Daytona, watching them race. I remember staying up the whole night in my uncle's motorhome and just looking at the cars going. So that's initially what gave me a bit of the passion. Then when I was 4 years old, I got my first go-kart. I started going once every 2 months. Then it became once a month, once a week, 2 times a week. And it went on from there. And then I made the decision, I think when I was 12, 13, that all right, let's really focus on this and go after it. And it went on, it went from there.
That's awesome. Good luck on race day. And what did you pick? Whole milk, skim milk,
whole
orange
milk
juice?
After 500-mile race and whole milk, no skim milk here.
That's you can that would be whole milk would be good. What's the Brazilian thing we were talking about?
Oh, the pão de queijo.
Pão de queijo.
Exactly.
Pão de queijo, a little whole milk and an Indy 5 and the Borg Warner.
Exactly.
You're laughing. Let's go.
Happy
Viva
days.
Brazil.
Yeah.
Yes. Pietro Fittipaldi's been our guest. Thank you so much.
Go get
Thanks,
him,
man.
kid.
Appreciate
Yes, sir.
it. Thanks, man.
I'm Kristi. So nice to meet you. I'm sorry.
We do the photo, right?
Yes. Good, thanks. I want a photo as well.
Alex, and it's Alex Palou.
Palou.
That's how we were asking everyone to get it right.
It's fine. If you get it wrong, it's
No, I wanna
everybody
get it
gets
right.
it wrong. So
That's what I'm. That's
not
what I want to get
us.
it
We're
right.
not going to get it.
I've always heard rhymes with
maybe
rhymes,
when you get nervous, you will.
rhymes with hello. Is that the
Hello. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Alex
It's
Palou.
like saying low,
Hello.
low,
There you go.
like LOW.
Yeah.
Do people
Hello.
ever take those songs that have "hello" and make them about you?
They do some stuff.
Hello again.
Hello.
Or
Neil
you say,
Diamond. Neil Diamond.
You could
Hello, is it me you're looking for? Because I wonder why you're fast.
Well, that's not
And I
bad.
wonder why you win.
I like that.
Okay, let me work on that.
I like that. That's really good. I'm going to cut that and I'm
Let's
going to
go.
keep it.
All right,
I'm gonna
buddy.
keep it.
Oh, we'll just do a whole song. Don't worry. We got
Yeah.
you. We got you.
You say goodbye and I say Palou.
Yeah. You say goodbye. I say Palou.
Okay.
Palou, Palou. We can do
probably
this all
should
day.
talk to our
Yeah,
guest.
let's talk to him. He's right here. We don't even have to sing about him. We
The
can
man
talk
is
to him.
very
He's
busy.
right here.
New baby.
New baby, yes.
How's that? Absolutely.
It's,
Look, he doesn't even look tired.
No,
How is that
it's-
possible?
I don't know. I have an amazing wife. And
Yes.
No, she's really good during the night, honestly. Like, she lets us
awesome.
sleep, and yeah, it's amazing.
Wait, but don't you also, wasn't it your wife that had the coffee?
We used to
you both
own-
used
yeah.
to own a coffee?
Yeah, we
So
sold it.
You understand good coffee then, which is, I didn't understand why coffee was important until I had a baby.
Yes, you need some coffee in the mornings.
Good
Yes,
God almighty.
I know.
You do what I do. You learn about coffee. You get up at 3 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
A coffee
You
enema
live on it.
gets
It's like
started.
right here. Right in the veins.
Can I ask the baby's name?
Yeah, Lucia.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Thank you.
And
Have
we're-
you ever said though that's not a nice name or something?
I do that a lot.
You do?
I'm like,
oh, that name is.
Are you
sure? Are you really? Yeah.
Not out loud, but when
But
I
you-
leave, I've got some family members actually.
Yeah, when they have stripper names, it's really awkward. You know, Galaxy, great
Shimmer
name
and
for a
Justice.
child.
I always say the name into a microphone before you name the kid,
That's
just
good.
in case.
But see, listen,
just in
this is
case.
good.
Just in case.
Lucia.
Yeah, there you go.
I like
Perfect.
I like it.
Lucia Palou.
Lucia.
Where was she born?
In Madrid, Spain.
Oh, nice.
Excellent. Hence the Lucia, not
Lucia.
Lucia.
Exactly.
Now, is your wife there right now?
No, they're here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I was just going to see if she
Back
could-
home, they're
she could-
coming in. Like, yeah. Once I'm done on media day, we will sleep here at the bus tonight and get ready for race day.
Taylor Swift's going to be in Madrid in a few weeks.
Somebody has young daughters. Can you tell?
Yeah.
Yes.
My daughters are actually going to see her in England.
Are they?
Yeah, my sister lives there, and this is true. I don't know if you know about Taylor Swift. It's cheaper to fly to England, stay in a hotel, and get the seats than it would be to see her here.
Is that right?
Really?
Oh yeah, the seats are like $5,000 a
What?
piece.
What?
Goodness gracious.
Oh, it's
sakes.
crazy. It's insane.
When
totally
Lucia
serious.
is that age, there's only going to be 10,000. Like, you know, we just keep winning. All
Yeah,
right?
I need to.
Keep winning. Keep those checks
Well, that's
coming.
why I started winning this year again.
Well, Thermal did that was a nice
Thermal,
paycheck.
Indy road course, yeah.
You know, I mean, that cash for winning that one.
Yeah, that was good.
It was a great race.
It's a big.
The number of times I see you and you're in the lead, and it's just obvious for so many. Like you really slam dunk a lot of races. You really do. I feel like in your career, it's like, oh yeah, we've known he's going to win for the last half hour. Like, you know, you just do it.
That was the
Well,
fear
thank you.
at the GP this year. I feel like that was everybody's fear. Did you lay off the gas at all to make sure that was
No.
decent for TV?
You never. Yeah,
But that
you
was
just need to
one
go.
you could have run away with and got close to it.
We got no. I mean, we won. But,
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
it could have been a
was
much bigger.
Yeah, it could have been. But I mean, it looks easier from home. Like you say, oh, he's pulling away. That's easy. But inside the car, you're like hauling ass to try and get a gap and trying to make it work. But yeah, I think I've been very lucky to being able to execute on some race weekends that we had the best car, and you can show it by big gaps.
Is everyone talking to you? How many people are there? 2 or 3?
No, normally I have only one person speaking, so you only hear one voice on the radio.
And is
there's
in English, presumably?
yes.
Then if you make a mistake and curse, do you curse in Spanish or in English? Or are you
don't
completely
normally
non-cursing?
curse, yeah, no,
No
but-
cursing?
But it would be in English, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds better. Sometimes.
Yeah, it sounds more aggressive.
It would be in
I think.
Spanish?
In English.
Really?
In English, yeah.
That way,
Mierda.
that way,
Yeah, like if you say
they know you're doing
mierda, mierda is like, yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's
But
more
yeah,
like,
exactly.
yeah.
That's 100%.
Mierda is more like, oh,
Yeah.
so cute, you know? Like you cannot get angry cute and being cute at the same time.
That's a
Yeah.
good point.
Now, there's obviously a lot of folks that speaks Portuguese. Do you understand that? Can you guys talk in some kind of...
We understand a little bit, but they are very apart. Like
Yeah.
there's some words that we share, but if they do a full sentence, I get lost.
Yeah.
How about dreaming? Do you dream in Spanish?
I have no idea, man.
You don't know?
I don't know. I wake up and I don't.
You don't.
I normally
There's
don't.
no time for
Yeah.
dreams.
That's true.
There's no time for dreams.
No,
What am I
that's
saying?
true. Actually,
He's-
like
yeah.
you have 2 hours or 3 in a row, and you're
Yeah,
like,
like,
oh,
oh,
that's so
out.
amazing. Yeah.
Well, how did you feel about qualifying? Was it the format and everything suit you this time?
Yeah, format was great. I think it's amazing the format we have now with the bum day and that you have the fast 12 and then you need to go again on fast 6. I think that's putting everything on the line. It wasn't great for us this year. We didn't really have the speed we wanted, but yeah, it's a great format.
What number is this for you? What number Indy 500?
Indy 500 number 4.
4. Wow.
5. Number 5. I've
okay.
done 4. Yeah.
And so, how does it feel different on number 5? Like, does it feel different than?
Well, I think I was lucky and unlucky at the same time at the beginning because my first year was 2020 and COVID. We had nobody in the stands, so it felt like a normal race, very normal race. Then 2021 we had like half people. 2022 we had full people. Last year was it full as well. But I mean, I think it just keeps on getting better and better and better. Every time you are able to enjoy a lot more. You're not as nervous of like, oh, there's so many people. Now it's like, oh, it's going to be amazing and I'm going to enjoy it. But that's not going to make me shake, let's say.
Right,
Well,
right.
you seem pretty calm anyways. If you the last year's onboard,
You
as
should
you get,
speak to my wife. And, yeah, I mean.
the onboard of you getting hit on pit road and saying, what happened, and they pull you back. I mean, I can't imagine anyone else not blowing a gasket, taking the
I think
helmet
it
off,
dropped like
chucking
an
at somebody.
F-bomb and stuff.
But there was then they didn't catch it because it's
But
crazy
I mean,
how
what do
calm
you do? It's done. I mean, like there's nothing I can do at that moment, and I knew we still had like 98 laps to go. We're fighting still for the race, but you can do 2 things: get out of the car and just start punching him on the helmet, or just be like, okay, it's gone, and let's try and recover from it and get the most of it.
Well, the last 2 years you've been at the front, something crazy happens, and you go to the back and work your way back up. So I've got no doubt that you're going to work your way to the front this year.
Hopefully it's easier because we already have 200 laps instead of like having only half of the race. So
exactly.
now we are starting in the middle and we have 200 laps when we'll take it easy, hopefully.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, it's a great pleasure to speak with you. Thank you so much. I know how busy you are.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Oh, we clap all together?
We all clap together. Hey. Hello. Good luck in the race tomorrow.
On Lucia.
That's what's up.
This is well thought out.
Exactly. I love it.
Okay, all right.
Rolling.
Of course, the first question everyone asks you, Linus, is, boy, are you lucky you didn't grow up in a playground of the United States of America. You know how kids rhyme stuff.
Don't give me that.
Yeah,
Well, it's funny you say that because it's not the first time. When I was racing in the UK, people used to make fun of you with that. Even my team held out because we had pit boards and they rode penis on the pit board. It's that, like,
but it's my understanding that it was a very
that's my team.
Yeah, in the
but it was a
middle
very
of the
large.
race,
It was
I
a very
looking
large
at it.
pit
I'm
board.
like, what are they
It's very, very important that you know it was a very big, very big
I
pit
love
board.
that. That's fantastic.
Okay, now how do you pronounce your name? Last name?
Lundqvist.
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 Very good.
And what does Qvist mean? Is that like
branch?
Branch. Okay.
Okay,
So
so
there's 3 Qvists at least, right?
There's 4, I think. Right?
Is there 4?
Is it 4?
You, Felix, Tom. Yeah.
That's it.
We got big
I
Qvists.
was making it. I was
I mean, so I guess that begs the question: why are you guys taking over IndyCar racing?
I mean, we're doing our best. We're trying.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Quists, the Swedish army
Swedish
is
army.
coming over with Marcus as
Yes.
well. I mean, I've been the latest addition, so I just feel proud to kind of be backing up this army now.
That's great. They called you in for reinforcements. That's
yeah,
what it was.
well, I'm not sure if they needed it, but I'm going to see what I can do here.
Kvist sounds like it could be a cracker. You know, hey,
maybe.
If you get really famous, I can like a checkered cracker.
Checkered ground. There we go.
Have you tried the new Kvist? As you can see, this is going to be a serious interview.
Very serious interview. Yeah.
Welcome to Indy. Congratulations on making the 108th running of the Indianapolis 500. Now, your English is very good.
Thank you.
Do you dream in Swedish or in English?
Swedish.
Really?
Yeah. Every now and again I have dreams in English. Yeah, I won't lie. We get taught English in school from like the age of 10, and then I moved to the UK when I was 16. So, for the past like 8 years I've probably spoken more English than Swedish.
Yeah,
but
at
Swedish
night,
is still
you're dreaming about Swedish ladies and
I'm not dreaming about.
He's not the only one.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Hang on a second.
I think that's everybody.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, my good friend is Alexander Skarsgård. Let me pick up that name I just dropped. But
Whoa, your good friend?
Yeah, my good friend. We did a movie together.
Damn.
And what he told me is that people sleep on, like, Sweden is like Stockholm, like that. That's the, or you go way up north and it's like amazing up there, the Northern Lights, and you're eating caribou. And
I was just about to say, what are we eating up there? I'd love to hear this. Yeah, I'd love to hear what people are telling you.
Yes, caribou and Lundqvist.
Yeah, Lundqvist. Yeah, Lundqvist. That's not great.
Well,
yeah,
not
stay
great.
away
It's
from
not
that.
great.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a special race day routine?
Race day routine? Honestly, no. I did when I was younger, like back in the go-kart days. But then I had a bad race, even though I did my routine, and I told myself I'm never ever having anything like that ever again because I had a bad race when doing it. So since then, I've not done anything. I try to listen to some music and get myself in the zone, but apart from that,
what kind of music?
It depends on what I'm feeling. I kind of pick a new playlist before every week of songs that I think will suit me before the race. So
presumably upbeat.
I don't know. Some are pretty like low key, chill, depressing. It's like
depressing.
Yeah, it's just like yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
yeah, I get that.
Yeah, hip hop, rock, pop. What?
You name it, anything. Like I said, I could just be hearing a random song and then I'll add it to my playlist for the week, and then I play it on that playlist on repeat, like in my car to the track, from the track.
Primarily English speaking, or do you like Swedish hip hop? Are there any famous Swedish hip hop artists? I presume
there are in Sweden, not internationally. I would say we have some pop artists like Zara Larsson is one of our biggest. You know her?
No.
Yeah, I can see by your face that you made.
These two guys are liars.
Yeah.
They're lying. I'm sure. I'm sure he or she is wonderful.
For me, there was no other Swedish groups after Europe. After the final countdown, that was it.
Yeah.
And my favorite was they had a song called about the Cherokee Indians. The Swedish rock group it was called Cherokee, and we talked about the Trail of Tears. I thought that was very open of them to.
That was very open of them.
Exactly.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
I digress.
Yeah.
I used to drive a Cherokee. Now I drive a Volvo.
A Volvo? Don't say it, but it's actually owned by the Chinese now. But we don't talk about that.
No,
Yeah.
Next, you're going to tell me IKEA is owned by the Chinese.
No, that's Swedish. So don't worry.
Thank God.
Don't worry.
Thank God.
Don't you worry.
How many 500s is this for you?
This is my first one.
So is this like, you seem so incredibly chill for somebody that's about to go really fast for 2.5 hours. Are you like, is this like no big deal?
Well, it is a big deal.
Yeah, of course.
Unless you can tell.
I phrased that a little wrong.
Yeah. No, and I'm kind of split into two camps because this is a long life dream, being able to compete in this race. But at the same time, I'm so competitive that unless we're at the front, I'm not really happy.
Yeah.
And right now we're not, which means that the focus is trying to get to the front. So I'm like telling myself, all right, enjoy it. But also, you're here to do a job and to perform.
What's the major difference? Ganassi's were all toward the front last year, kind of mid-pack this year, specifically with Alex and Scott. But the whole team's kind of mid-pack. What's the biggest difference this year?
Speed. I mean, it sounds so simple when you say it, but it's like I think obviously there might have been a little bit of a difference in the two engines, and in qualifying you kind of saw that. But I think as well we took a bit of a step back because if you look at the speed that like Alex's pole speed last year was like 3,000 slower, whatever it was, than Scott's pole time. So I think we had this speed last year, and we just lost some of it over winter. And I honestly don't even think the team knows how or why right now.
Do Alex and Scott help you out, or are they keeping the secrets?
Oh no, they're good. They help me out. I'm sure that they there's some things in their pocket that they keep, but they've been very very good too. I think all of us rookies so far. We bombard them with questions, but I think as well it just took some of the pressure off us rookies. In terms, we don't need to focus on car development and extracting every single bit of performance. You can kind of leave that to Scott and Alex, which has been nice. It's been a little bit calm.
What about having that, the 5 cars? Is that a
5
big
cars?
difference? A lot of longer meetings?
Yeah, our meetings are pretty long. They're quite extensive, but it's been good. Obviously, I don't know how it was before because my first time working with the team was in a 5-car environment, so don't really have much to relate to. But talking to some of the other guys, they've been saying it's been a pretty good transition. And more cars, more data, hopefully better. but you're just gonna have to work through all that data at some point, and it's been pretty flat out for the guys here.
Yeah. Well, before we let you go, are you a video game player?
I was when I was younger, not so much anymore.
Yeah.
Why do you play?
No, of course not. Is there a decent video game that helps people actually drive better?
I mean, iRacing is a very popular one. You got all the racing simulators. A lot of drivers spend a lot of time on that. I don't have one personally. Maybe I will get it in the future.
I think you should get pole position. Look that up. That's
pole position,
circa 1986, I think. Old school. You can even find the ones with the car. Yeah, just look it up.
I mean,
you can Google that. Outrun. That's a good one. Outrun, where you're riding in a red Ferrari with a blonde next to you, and you get to change the music. I think she was Swedish.
Pretty sure she was Swedish.
Yeah,
don't you guys are trying to get me into trouble here. I can't believe this.
Rinus, best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kyle Kirkwood is our guest. And did you see about the big Kyle thing last week? They made an attempt to get the world record for the most Kyles in Kyle, Texas.
I thought you were going to bring up the Kyle Busch thing. But,
well, a lot of Kyles in the news.
That was a big Kyle thing.
There's a lot of Kyles in the news.
The man can take a punch.
Yeah, well, there's several punchable Kyles. Not,
but you're the least punchable.
Least punchable Kyle.
Yeah. Kyle, Texas failed to do it, but they were trying to get. They were trying to get
the
world record.
That's one of those deals where if you really want
what's
to make
the world
sure
record?
you can do that.
If you're going to promote it, you better do it.
Oh God, the world. What is the world record? I'll think of it.
That's crazy.
I'm surprised they had a world record before that.
I mean, what do people do with their lives? Sorry, Kyle, Texas.
Can you check on that? We had a world record. Okay, I'm sorry. How are things going? You having fun in Indianapolis?
Yeah, everything's good. Everything's clicking away. It's been somewhat of a boring month for us, but boring equals good. And when it comes to Indy 500 stuff, we've not done a whole lot to the car. We've been confident in our qualifying performance. We've been confident in our race performance. So not a whole lot of changes. We've just been doing clean running. So boring is good.
Speaking of clean, any tattoos?
No tattoos.
See,
me neither.
So far, only a couple.
Clean. We're
Oh
clean.
for 4.
We got 4 clean skins.
No tattoos.
Excellent.
Wow. Okay.
Well, would you get one of the Borg Warner if you won? That's a hard question.
If I was going to get one tattoo, it'd probably be for winning this race.
For winning this race, it would be worthy. I think. Yeah.
And we said, what is it? Tony Kanaan has the Borg Warner.
Does he?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
And probably the line of the day was Scott Dixon saying, "Tony's face is an extra handle on the Borg Warner."
Well,
he said it, not me.
Yeah, that's just mean.
It's just
that's a good one.
It's a good one, right?
It's a good one.
Any unusual rituals pre-race?
Not really. No, I'm pretty simple. I've got one superstition. I always wear Adidas. I won't wear Nike.
Oh,
you guys both got Nike on.
Yeah, I respect that though.
I've never worn a pair of shoes that's not Nike.
Really?
Never.
Is that a superstition thing?
No,
early
influencer in college. They used to have a college program where Nike would ship stuff before it came out.
Okay.
And I got on the program because I knew the guys that started the finish line. And so
free stuff.
Oh, right on.
I'm just loyal to a fault because I was given free stuff early on.
Fair enough.
But I respect like sticking with a.
It's
with a brand.
not for any good reason. It was only because I crashed out of one race in Formula 4 when I was younger, and I was like, the only thing I changed were my shoes. So I went back to wearing Adidas, won the next race, and I was like, you know what? I'm crazy. I'm going back to wearing my Nikes the next race. I crashed again, and I was like, it's the shoes.
That's
so
it. It's got to be. It's got to be the shoes, money. It's got to be the shoes. Adidas, please sponsor this guy. Come on.
What size do you
wear?
wear?
What are we doing?
40. Sorry, I'm thinking. I've been 8 in US, 8.5.
US.
Yeah,
8.5.
Yeah. My feet got to fit inside the cockpit somehow. They're small.
Those are little baby feet.
Yeah.
Does Adidas
hey, easy on my feet.
Does Adidas make a racing boot? Do you have Adidas racing boots?
No. It's Sparco. I wear Sparco everything. That's why I was saying 40 because they do everything in Euro size, right?
Size, yeah.
So 42 in Euro.
Where'd you grow up?
Florida, South Florida.
South Florida.
Yeah, Jupiter area. Everyone knows where Jupiter is now because of golf, right? In full swing because literally every golfer lives within a 4-mile radius of me.
Yeah.
But before that, if I ever said, "Oh yeah, I'm from Jupiter," they'd be like, "Haha, good one. You're from the planet Jupiter." But
wasn't Burt Reynolds? Didn't he live there?
Yeah. Burt Reynolds lived there. They've got
Cannonball Run.
Yeah, exactly. They got a park named after him there. So yeah, staple of Jupiter.
Man.
Okay. When you were growing up, who was the man for you? Who was the driver that you thought was the coolest?
I have to say it was Dan Weldon. It was Dan Weldon always. I remember him winning it in 2011. That was like one of the coolest moments of my childhood. And he was also around the karting track too. He would always race for this team called Ocala Grand Prix, and I actually raced for that team for a certain amount of time. And he was the only professional driver that I was young and I was just starstruck, and I went up and just started talking to him, and he talked to me for like 10 or 15 minutes.
That's cool.
And I didn't know who this guy was, right? He just talked to me. How's your day going? Didn't know who I was, right? And ever since then, it kind of just stuck with me. I was like, that guy's a legend. So I was always a huge fan of him, and I always looked up to him.
Did you ever go to the 500 before, the junior formulas, and then when you participated, were you?
No, I mean, I always watched it, right? And there was always usually a karting race during the 500, and it was usually always in Florida. So I would never actually get a chance to come up to the 500. The first IndyCar race I did attend, though, was in 2007, and it was at Homestead Miami Speedway. It was after a karting race, and as a jet flies over the top of us.
Wow. Fly over practice.
That was close.
Fly over practice.
Negative, Ghost Rider. The pattern is full.
That was pretty cool, though.
That was.
But yeah, back to that. Yeah, so 2007, first IndyCar race I ever attended. It was incredible, and ever since that one race, I was like, I love this. This is so cool.
Yeah, and here you are.
Yep.
Were you playing video games that related to racing at all?
I mean, Nintendo 64, like Mario Kart.
Mario Kart.
Yeah.
So
That
not
counts.
really.
That counts.
It counts. It's some sort of racing.
Can you imagine if you had the turtle shell you could like chuck at Dixon or something? That would be great. Fireballs? Come on. I
don't
think
know
we
about
should
that.
do this. I think we should do this.
I don't think Roger would approve of that.
Yeah, fair enough. All right.
Well, have you seen what they're doing with some of the NFL broadcasts where they have the ones on Nickelodeon?
That's true.
Yep, I've seen that.
They could do
You
that
might
for
be onto
they could
something
do
there.
that for IndyCar and put funny things in the fronts of the car.
Nickelodeon. Which character would you be? So if they did like, okay, now we're going to do the Nickelodeon Indy 500 and everybody gets to pick their character. Are you
I mean,
Mario?
SpongeBob is my boy.
Oh, okay.
I love
Yeah,
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob.
I'm
I
not
love
as
it.
dumb as him, but I could be SpongeBob.
Good. I could be the starfish. What's his name?
Patrick.
Patrick. I'm definitely Patrick. I love it.
Well, have a great race.
Thank you.
Very
Crush
exciting.
it, man.
And then what? You have a lot of stuff to do between now and then. You've got Carb Day tomorrow.
We got Carb Day. Yeah, and I mean that's hopefully our car is just in a good spot because it was great on Monday. There's no reason why we shouldn't roll into tomorrow and just be super happy with our car and not touching going to the race. That's what we expect. Not always does that ever happen, but yeah, I mean it should just be a simple kind of race running situation. Just get into some traffic, make sure we're happy with it, and then put it inside the trailer, pull it back out on Sunday.
Are you doing the pit stop competition?
We are. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
My guys have been on it this year too. We've been like one of the fastest in pit lane, especially tire changers, because those are the ones that count for the pit stop challenge. So I think we got a good shot. They're over there building the car right now for the pit stop challenge.
You use the road course car for
We
that
do.
because
Yeah.
the engine. I was hearing this yesterday.
Yeah, we don't use the same engine in that car as we do in the 500, right? So we switch engines from now to Detroit. So we actually pull our road course car out, build that up for Detroit, and then put it out there for the pit stop challenge. But they do some extra little things like standing cambers up a little bit so we get more traction,
That's what I heard,
softening
yeah.
up springs, shortening up how high the car comes off the ground. There's a bunch of things that they can do to make it a little bit quicker in the pit stop for them.
Nice. Well, good luck with that.
When you're inside the car, is it different at all?
No, the gear is really short. That's the only thing that's different.
that for the launch?
We run anywhere from like a 85 to like 106 mile an hour first gear. And that one, I don't know what it is. It's got to be like a 60 or 70 mile an hour first gear.
To get the launch, though?
That's just so we get the best launch. Yeah.
Cool.
Wow. Do you know when you're qualifying if there wasn't someone telling you? Do you know if you're doing great? Can you tell? Because it's so the times are so close.
We have the speed on our dash, right?
You have time to look down there.
Yeah, so you kind of know what you're doing. Oh yeah, you pay attention to what you're doing. Yeah, you want to know how fast you're going. Typically, you don't look till the back straight, right? Because you come across the start finish line. The start finish line's way down towards turn one. So you get through 1, 2, and then you look at your speed, and then you're like, all right, this is a good one, or this is not a good one. So
Have you ever forgotten what lap you're on, though? I mean, the Ericsson thing was
no,
really
I have.
bizarre.
It's really not that bizarre.
It's not.
4 laps feels like an eternity around this place, even though it's what. How long is it? It's less. It's like
10
3
minutes.
It's
Yeah.
3 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Because it's 38 seconds is a lap.
Yeah.
So it's crazy fast, but you forget because you do that warm up lap. So you're like it's easy to be like, oh, I've done 4 laps, but one of those was the warm-up lap.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Wow.
I forgot in practice. In practice, but I haven't done it ever in actual qualifying.
Thank goodness.
To put a cap on this, there were 706 Kyles in Kyle, Texas. The record's 2,320.
Oh, they were way short.
I mean,
But
was it also in
do we know
Kyle,
what
Texas?
name that was?
What?
Okay. Who knows? But
Jeez, come on.
Thank you.
Right.
I'm
Anyway,
super
Kyle,
up.
Well, we've all been
Yeah,
educated
thank you,
today.
thank you, thank you, guys.
There you go.
Callum Ilott is our guest. A quick. These questions.
Welcome.
For the most part.
Welcome.
For the most part, these questions will be idiotic. Thank you.
Yes, they will.
Do you know who David McCallum was?
No. Am I meant to?
Anyone, class?
I don't know.
Anyone?
Nope.
That's a Macallan Irish whiskey?
David McCallum, the man from Uncle.
He just referenced a 60s TV show.
Yeah, but he just passed away last
rest
year.
in peace. Rest in peace.
A great actor.
Yes.
In many, many roles.
Oh, yeah, he was in NCIS or one of those.
Yeah. He ended up being the
Ducky.
coroner or something.
Yeah.
But the name, that's such an unusual first name. I was wondering if it was short for.
In this country, yes.
Oh, like, is your being named Tom over there? Or?
No, it's more. It's a Scottish name.
Yeah,
So it's. I mean, there were 3 people in my year at school with the name Callum, but it varies from 1 L to 2 L's, and I'm 2 L's.
2 L's.
Okay. Are you the first?
L's and Goose
are you the
Boys.
first Callum to race at the Indy 500?
Possibly.
Oh,
I guess so.
Making history.
Get on there.
Making history right off the bat. Let's go. That's great.
You having fun so far?
Yep. It's been entertaining because I didn't expect to be doing this race when I started this year.
Oh, that's
my
interesting.
full-time job's the World Endurance Championship, so I got called in here after David Malukas' injury and situation.
Right.
Yeah, it's my 3rd Indy 500, and my job's full-time in Europe. So
Wow. So you just get to kind of come in, dip your toe in,
and leave,
win the race, and then go home.
Yeah. I'll be gone.
That's kind of exactly.
I'll take the money and I'm off.
What's
You
the
can see me
next
year.
What's the next WEC race?
Le Mans. So
Okay.
I do my own double of Indy 500 and Le Mans. So almost 600,000 spectators in the space of a month.
Yeah.
Think about that. That's insane, man.
No. Did you speak any foreign languages?
Not really. I lived in Italy for 4 years. I now have an Italian, well, not now, it's been 3 years now, but an Italian girlfriend who kicks my ass for not speaking Italian.
Buongiorno.
But that's
Ciao,
that's
Bella.
exotic.
It is, yeah.
That's very race car like. I've asked this for a couple other guys. What's the best movie about racing in the contemporary world?
Rush with James Hunt and Niki Lauda.
That
I
seems
think that's
to be-
solid.
And your thought on that was
I haven't seen that movie. I am voting for Turbo, with the snail,
snail thing, yeah.
that goes around the Indy 500. Is there what other Indy 500 movies have there been?
winning.
Well, just racing in general.
I know, but I care mostly about the Indy
Yeah.
500. I'm loyal to my city and my race, unlike you guys.
So are you guys all locals or are you...
I'm local.
Okay.
I'm born
so
and
are you
raised.
not local?
I
then?
grew up up the road, but I live in Los Angeles now. I'm kind of a big deal.
Yeah. Did you catch on to that? Did you catch on?
Because you said you were a local.
Many little leather-bound books in my apartment smells like rich mahogany. Yes, but I live in LA. But I love coming back here, and I wasn't a race fan, but I was an Indy 500 fan because when you grow up around here,
Yep, you got
part
of it.
It is, and so now I've gotten to be buddies with some race car drivers, and that's where you go like, oh. There's a whole other aspect to this sport that people don't know until you get into it, and it's incredible.
We're very misunderstood creatures.
That's
I
true.
think. Yeah.
That's true.
In
100%.
good and bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
You're a very slender guy. Do you do a lot of working out to keep it light?
I feel like that's a very contradictive statement.
He never says that to me. I can tell you that.
Well, maybe a perspective issue.
Yeah, exactly. Near, far.
No, so in what I do in the endurance stuff, the lighter the better. So
Sure.
I'm the lightest in my team, and I get an advantage from that. So luckily, as a person, maybe I'm not at that age yet, but I can eat what I want and not be affected. One of the lucky few. Yeah, sorry.
And then, do they add weight? Isn't it like
Here,
They do
yes.
here. They-
Here,
yeah.
yes.
It's like a ballast thing.
But in that specific championship, because you share the car with 2 other drivers, no. It's a minimum weight of the car, and so I get the benefit compared to all the heavy people.
But it's still an advantage as a IndyCar driver because you can decide where you put the weight as opposed to it being
So the weight
center of
distribution and
the
height.
center of the car where where someone like Rahal or somebody that's on the taller, maybe.
There's
less
definitely an
skinny
advantage
side.
to it. It's minimized because of the rules, but I get that. Yeah, I do work out obviously, but I'm not here to look like Arnold, you know.
I think it'd be good if you just strap me on the back of a car. Just put a helmet on me. Like, hey, all right, you got an extra 250. All right, 270. But I'm just saying, just think about it.
So where do they put the weight?
Well, and you obviously, I'm not going to speak for you, but it depends upon what the driver likes the weight. And so if you're at the max weight of yourself and the car, you don't get to put the weight anywhere.
Right, sure.
If you're on the slender side, then you can move the weight in a couple spots.
Normally,
right?
you're trying to put it as low as possible. So under the seat, there's a bit on the other side of the seat. We call it the keel. You can put it in the keel. I mean, you can put it further forward as well, further back, and that gives you a window to play with the weight distribution.
And then do they do a weigh-in at the beginning of the month?
So IndyCar, normally on FP1 of a normal weekend, you do a weigh-in, and as long as you haven't changed 3 or 4 or 6 pounds or something like that, they don't change your season weight.
Do you eat like crazy afterwards? Do you fast?
You do burn a lot of calories through the weekend. Yeah. Like more than you expect.
Yeah.
Is it sort of like wrestlers?
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, you have to cut weight to get to the weight, and then you eat a cheeseburger as soon as you weigh in.
Chip butty. Chip butty.
No, you're probably trying to weigh as much as you can for FP1 so that you then can be leaner later on. You understand?
Got it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Who's the lightest driver? Do you know?
I think it's Sato or Ferrucci, and then I'm third. So I'm on the lighter side. Of
Congratulations.
Who's the
Thank
heaviest?
I mean, I think Rahal and Rossi tend to be on the.
Rossi's he's got some big arms.
Well, they're both like 6 foot plus.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're just bigger people.
Rossi is in the window of okayness.
Yeah.
There are some who are above the window of okayness.
Got it.
Really?
I think you just coined a phrase.
That
The
might be-
window of okayness.
Doesn't that sound like
start a band?
That's a good band.
Like the window
we should
of
start the
okayness.
band. The window of
a
okayness.
Netflix thing.
Yeah.
Have you seen the window of okayness?
No, yeah, exactly. Oh, it's great.
Powell's in it. He's
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah, I was in it. Yeah, he's punting down the river in Cambridge and killing people. I don't know. I don't know. It went dark there. I'm sorry. Yes. Well, my wife is English, and so
Congratulations.
I feel like we're kind of the same.
Related.
Yeah. And so, but she doesn't. There weren't a whole lot of people that understood the Indy 500, and did you get it growing up?
No, the European mind cannot comprehend
It's like,
left-handers.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I almost try and move a little bit more to get those right-handers in, just to make it feel more like a figure of 8 or something.
Yes.
No, it's not something that's widely known, but I have to say, I think last year I got the stat from Sky Sports in the UK that they had 400,000 plus people watching it live last year. And that's after the Monaco Grand Prix as well. So,
will your mates be watching it back there? Like, they'll be like, they get it now.
They get it. I've had a few. The first year I brought a few mates over, and it's incredible for them. I mean, there is nothing really like it for a single day event. It's just out of this world.
Yeah.
Is the and you don't have to tell me your plan, but is the plan to get back to IndyCar full time, or just kind of see what happens? Or do you have a plan yet?
No, at the moment, no, I have no plan. Yeah. And to be fair, it's not really that. I don't know where I stand on that yet. Maybe that changes in a month's time. But I was doing this for 2.5 years before this. So no, I'm open.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Well, Callum, what a great pleasure speaking to you. Best of luck.
Thank you very
Go
much.
get him, Go get him, brother.
You guys as well. Enjoy the other drivers.
Yes.
We are speaking with Helio Castroneves.
No idea.
Well, how do you keep your girlish figure? Are you like a super exercise guy?
Well, I just ate a French fry.
Half of a French fry. I saw that.
It's full. He's full.
No, just joke aside, guys. Look, I'm a normal person as well. I guess I do work out every day. Being a driver for so many years, this is my part of my life. If I don't actually exercise, it feels like something's missing. So and it's exactly what it is. So I feel ready, feel great. But of course I watch what I eat now. I'm not as young as I used to be, So you got to make sure you take it easy on those.
Now, as a 4-time winner, did they make you take the refresher course when you came back?
They did, right?
Oh my God!
I couldn't believe it. I was like, "What are you guys doing today?"
I think I know this place.
No, but it's understanding when you stay a little longer. The last time I was in a race car, it was the end of last year, so I understand that. Normally, it's good to get yourself up to speed as well. And how does it feel this year? Are you feeling good?
I feel awesome. I have a new group, guys, new car. Cliff's MSR is actually really strong. Even though those guys are brand new to the team, they actually run a sports car program. Some of them are freelancers, which they have experience at IndyCar, but they really, Jello, I think that's the right word, right? It's
Gel.
Yeah.
Jello's the shaky stuff.
That Jello's like. Anyway,
Jello.
I like it. Yeah,
mellow Jello, whatever.
That's great. I love it.
It's all together. They really blend well, and I really like that because this is what it's all about. Sometimes you don't need to be the fastest guy out there because it's teamwork. By the way, people realize that sometimes it's just the driver. No, it's a teamwork, and pit stops is extremely important. Even now, because all the cars are so together, so close together. You need to have that small difference in pit stop to gain position, and I feel that we have that.
So 100 Days to Indy, great.
You like it?
Fantastic, but I'm most intrigued about how great this bathroom is. That was
so you watch it? Oh my god!
The downside was they never showed the bathroom. Right? Like everyone's talking about how great the bathroom is. They showed Tom going in, and that was the cut.
What are we talking about?
The
I know the show.
Yeah,
but
so they're all sitting in a trailer.
Was an episode
and
that we were doing.
Barber and Helio and Felix are talking back and forth. Tom comes in to do his business in the bathroom, and they talked about how finding a bathroom was a challenge, but this was like the holy grail.
Because people don't realize, we were joking that when you basically get yourself lighter, it's faster,
that's true.
right? And that's what we're discussing. And in the end, obviously, Tom just
he goes into the door closes, and it's scene.
Brilliant. That's brilliant. That's
I mean,
Hollywood, baby.
It was fantastic.
Makes you want to keep watching.
People like it. People actually enjoy that because we're talking about completely nothing about racing and something normal in our life.
Good.
What's the best movie about racing? Is Rush the closest, or?
I guess a great question. I think I didn't watch Rush, by the way. I heard there was a lot of accidents in the back. I was like, nah, I don't want to watch it.
I get that.
I feel that Ford versus Ferrari was very cool.
Yeah, that was a good one.
But again, for me, Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, that was a cool too. So. It's Talladega Nights.
Talladega Nights. That's it,
right?
Yeah.
We're still talking about when what's his character?
Will Ferrell.
Ricky Bobby.
Ricky Bobby start talking the first time on the interview. His hand goes like this, and like, what you doing with your hands? I don't know. We're still talking.
Our mutual buddy Simon Pagino, he really feels a connection to
he's coming. He's coming, right?
Well, and I didn't know that till today.
Yep.
And that he's going to drive.
How cool is that?
That's
so cool.
Yeah, really cool.
He's driving Gilles.
2003.
2003.
So was me. He stole that from me. That's
2003.
Gilles, you're up there, right? You know, I'm talking about you.
Wow. So Simon's going to drive it pre-race.
That's pretty cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And you got to see his helmet, because I did a tribute to Gilles de Ferran with my helmet. Half of my helmet is his paint job and mine. So it was really cool. And you guys got to see Simon as well. It was pretty cool as well.
Yeah, he seemed like a guy that really touched a lot of people in this sport.
For me, obviously, I worked with him for so many years. And not only became friends as a teammate, but we became even more friends after, being teammates. We live on the same street. I obviously know their kids. When they're young, he knew my daughter. So it was really cool to, and to be honest, it was a really close person. I never had someone that close, unfortunately, pass away. He was the first, and was a weird feeling of obviously, he's not here now. Sometimes you pick up the phone and you want to just talk BS, and he was the first guy we had a great time. So, hopefully, definitely he was going to be riding with me in this 500.
That is
excellent.
Fantastic. Yeah. Before we let you go, being from Brazil and all, are you a big coffee drinker?
I start not pure coffee. I like with latte. But in Brazil there is a lot of people that enjoy latte instead of just coffee. But
But yeah, if you consider that coffee.
Well, see, latte is made with milk, so with any luck, you'll have some extra milk on your hat.
Yeah.
On your shoulders.
You know who started this tradition with the throwing on the head, right?
Louis Meyer.
No.
Oh, no, on the head.
On the head. On the head was me, man. That was you?
Yeah.
No, 2001.
Yeah.
See,
Is that
before
right?
2000, nobody did that until I started doing now.
He's a trendsetter, ladies and gentlemen.
Which ring is it?
This is the
Which
last one.
That's the last one?
The 2021. Yeah. I have all the years engraved
Yeah.
here on the side, so it's pretty cool.
Your third one, were you I've always wondered this question. You were tight on fuel. Would you have made it without the yellow coming out?
Second one.
Second one.
Yeah.
Would
That's
you
a
have
good
made
problem
it?
to have, right?
Right. Would you? Yeah. I can't.
No, that's not the first one.
Sorry.
Keep track.
Yes, we had a glass. We had a glass of fuel in the car.
A glass.
16 ounces. 16 ounces.
Wow. But that's not the
It's a game of inches. This sport.
Yeah. No, we took a gamble.
The Paul Tracy one.
Yep. We took a gamble and went. And I thought the same way. I said, guys,
there was
I went to the Victory Circle, no problem. And they're like, you had a glass of ethanol back then.
Well, Helio, best of luck. Let's see if it's number 5.
Hey, get number 5. What do you say, buddy?
Let's do it.
Thank
Thank
you. Go.
Felix Rosenqvist is our guest, and this is our other Gvist.
Yeah.
Our third and final Kvist.
Gvist? Okay, and we're recommending a new product. It's either a breakfast cereal, Gvist.
I think you're
cracker?
conflating that with Quisp, which actually was a breakfast
I'm
cereal.
trying to borrow on the reputation.
I'm a fan
of
and we
Quisp.
learned that Kvist means. We forgot.
It's the what do you say, like the root of the flower
of the. He said branch. Yeah.
Brand. You know, not
but it's
branch.
not a branch. It's a
like
root.
the green part.
Right. Okay.
I just remember Big John.
It's a rose.
It was
that was Grosjean. That's completely different country.
So that means it means you are the rose stem.
The Rosenqvist. So, rose.
The rose stem.
So
and so then we've got what's a Lund?
Lund. I don't know exactly. It's like it's more like a. I don't know.
Okay,
No.
and then we've got a bloom. Well, bloom.
That's like
bloom. Yeah.
Flower.
This is great. You've educated us today. I love it.
Every rose has its twist.
We have some better Kvistians.
Every rose has its
Another
twist.
Carmel, Indiana guy, but that's cool.
Yes.
You like the winter?
The winter? Yeah. It's better than Sweden.
I was going to say he's from
tell you
Sweden.
that.
That's to say
way
nothing.
better. We
Yeah.
love it. My fiance now, she was like, this is great.
Yeah.
This is like going to Spain.
That's the best compliment Carmel, Indiana has ever.
That's so true.
Ever.
The roundabouts, the weather.
Yeah. When did you propose? Within the last year?
8th of November last year.
Wow. Yeah, because the way you said that, I'm like, that must be new because you're still getting used to saying fiance.
I got to get the dates right. Otherwise,
When's the wedding?
September 21st.
Congrats.
After Nashville, going straight back to Sweden.
Oh,
getting
I
it
love
done.
it.
Yeah.
Listen, if you just fly me there, I will sing at your wedding and I will do all Europe songs.
I want every rose has its quiz.
Okay, well,
Deal.
Deal.
Have you, as Pato confirmed?
Yeah.
At this point,
Yeah,
I
he's-
mean that
he's
was
locked in.
That was another cliffhanger on 100 Days to Indy. You know,
He's-
you guys
he's
put him on
locked
the
in.
spot, and he was like, unless I have to go to Singapore, but like
Zach got him out of it.
Nice. That's good deal.
Nice.
It's
Good deal.
happening.
Good deal.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love it. Congrats, dude.
Thank you.
Now, when you came over to America, the name Felix is somewhat unusual. Were you immediately told about Felix the cat? Or
Yes,
was that
I've been told. That's like a kid show, right?
Yeah.
There's a book
In
and a
like
show.
Book and a show.
50s.
Yeah, it was alone.
And
Black,
there's
like
Fel-
black and white.
And there's Felix the house cat as well. That's a DJ, right?
Oh, right, yeah.
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 And then the other Felix, of course, is Felix Unger from The Odd Couple,
yeah.
which was a huge success.
I've heard
Big,
about
big
him as
show.
well.
And I'm surprised people haven't hit you up with that one.
They have my engineer from 2 years ago. He told me about that. I checked it up. Yeah.
He
You
was
got 'em all
also
right.
very, very old, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ancient.
There was a
Ancient.
remake.
Now, again, I wonder if you're the first Felix.
Oh, yeah. First Felix to ever run in the
No,
500?
the 5.
You think?
I wonder. We'll get our historian on that.
We need Donald
Where's
Davidson
Donald
here.
Davidson when you need him?
Yeah, exactly. Does it, I mean, you to me seem like one of the chillest drivers. Like, were you always, was that always your personality, or like, is that who you are?
Yeah, I guess I don't get too revved up.
Yeah,
Things.
Good.
You know,
That's a great pun.
A lot of people say I'm always asleep except for when I'm in the car. So yeah, you probably got that.
That's
about
good.
Right.
Yeah.
You seem, I don't know, from the 100 Days to Indy and just the things that I've seen, you seem more relaxed maybe a little bit this year just with maybe the situation. Is there a difference? And you can see it in the results. I mean, your results to date for this year are extremely consistent, especially on the qualifying side and even on the race side. Is there a difference in the feel kind of your situation last year versus this year?
For sure. I think both privately and professionally, I've definitely found a calm. And some of it is stuff like in your life that you take care of. Like I used to live in Monaco and I don't have my place there anymore. So I only live here now near the roundabouts.
Who's your hospitality, baby?
And my team, my Shank Racing, I love it. They kind of given me all the tools I need. They're behind me. They told me you're our guy and we got your back and nice. It's been awesome so far.
Yeah, that's great.
And you love Busch Light now?
Yeah.
Is that a prerequisite?
Does he really drink that much?
No,
Busch
when they
Light?
won the 500, when Helio won the 500 with Meyer Shank, there was a picture on social media of Michael Shank's front door, and everyone from what town is he from? Ohio, whatever.
Pataskala
showed up and dropped off cases of Busch Light. You couldn't see the front door; it was stacked up above the door.
A fun story about that. Yesterday we were in New York with our sponsor Sirius XM and. Kind of did the little stops there with the different channels and stuff, and then we went to this typical New York steakhouse, and you can see Mike kind of trying to be unseen with the waiter. He's like, "Do you have any light beer at all?" I just thought that was so funny. I was kind of feeling ashamed.
The filet mignon and the Busch Light.
Yeah. Busch Light.
Yeah, thank you.
What year is that Busch Light?
Do you have any sponsors exclusive to Sweden? Like if you go
I do. I have a sponsor called EAB, and their product is called Radio Shuttle. It's kind of like automated storage systems. Like instead of having a guy in a forklift, like the actual storage is like doing the work for you. So they're big in North America. So yeah, that's actually my only Swedish partner.
What about the fish? You don't have Swedish
Dude, I was
fish?
thinking about that today.
Come on.
I need to do
Let's
it.
go.
Yeah.
Get a year's supply of Swedish fish. Let's go.
Yeah, you're up.
Put a little Swedish fish on your helmet.
I ate some today on the flight. They had them served in like a nice like aluminum packaging.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, man, these are actually really good, and it would just be such a good win-to-win deal.
Yes, my buddy Alex Skarsgård. Let me pick that up there. Famous Swede. He gets really angry about Swedish fish because he's like, "There's nothing Swedish about those fish."
There aren't, no.
But they taste great.
Do you like the multicolored or just the red?
Red only.
I leave the yellow and the orange ones.
Red only.
I'll eat all of them.
Well, you're a little bit more open-minded than the rest of us, clearly.
True.
I'll change the subject. Is your fiancée from Sweden?
Yes, she is.
Okay. Do you speak Swedish to her all the time?
Yeah. We dream in English now.
That's the next question.
We don't, no.
But literally, that was the next question he was going to ask.
I just think it's so interesting.
I do some. If it's like a racing dream, I dream in English because all the terms are English.
Oh, that's right.
Like you can't say like camber in Swedish.
Yes.
Or caster or like a downforce. It's just the same. So,
yes. Yeah. Do you like lutefisk?
No.
You know what lutefisk is? It's a rotting fish that they eat at Christmas time. Am I right?
Yeah.
It's literally just
like sour and rotten.
It smells like dead fish. I have a aunt who was from Swedish descent, and it was like, we're going to have lutefisk for Christmas. It was like, I thought I was going to die.
It's interesting how so many cultures have something like that.
Yeah, everybody's got the dead fish
There's
thing.
that thing in Chicago, Malort.
Oh, yeah.
Which is vile liqueur, and now they're mixing cicadas in it. That's the big thing.
Cicadas?
Yeah,
like the bug?
This famous bar in Chicago is doing, you can do this shot. It's got cicada.
Oh, that's just ridiculous.
It's just like a rite of passage thing, right?
I just want to know, this is different than any interview you've had today, right?
It is.
This
way
really
better.
Yeah. Thank you. See?
Totally unprofessional. We like to do it that way.
Exactly. We're journalists.
It's a lot.
We're journalists.
It's a lot more fun, I think.
It is.
Goddamn right.
I love it.
How many people are talking to you when you're in the track? Just one, two?
Two, sorry. Three.
Corners?
You go, 4?
Final answer.
So my strategist, who's on the pit stand, spotter turn 1, spotter turn 3. Yeah.
And is it like in baseball? If you're the pitcher, you can throw off the signal. Can you? If they tell you do this, you go, no, that's not happening.
Yeah.
Do you say anything, or do you just do it your way?
You just pretend like you don't hear it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
If you say nothing, like
breaking up.
you can't be proven in court that I didn't. That I
It's
heard
like when you're
That's a great
if you ever want to hang up on someone, the
Yeah.
rule is you always hang up when you're talking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
Then you, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I didn't know it was disconnected.
Absolutely.
Why has turn 2 become kind of the danger zone, or the where all
I don't
know. We were in we sit in turn 2 pretty high up. Someone's tire, Kirkwood's tire last year when you guys connected, whistled right over our head and hit the car behind us. Destroyed this little white car. She got a new car out of it. It was a girl that worked for catering. But it just seems like something about turn 2 over the last 5 or 6 years has become where most of the errant action has happened.
My theory is that it's the tunnel underneath.
The bump?
Yeah, the bump.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the track folds around a tunnel a little bit. And it's just a little, I mean, when you set your car up for all 4 corners to be like almost crashing every corner, and then you have that little bump there, like that's enough to be a differentiator.
Yeah,
I guess.
that makes perfect sense.
I think also the wind kind of comes in a weird way there. Like you have the stands blocking the entry, but then when you're in the middle of the corner, it's kind of open wind.
Yeah.
So it actually at the same time as you hit that bump, you kind of get a little wiggle.
There is a bigger space between where the turn 2 suites are and the end of that stands. It's got to be
It
somewhat
is.
of a wind tunnel that comes at your face as you come through the short chute.
There's an evil wind.
Yeah.
Can you hear people cheering?
No. I think at some point I've heard it, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember when, but I definitely heard at some point fans, yes.
Now, my buddy Simon Pagino said that he can sometimes, when he's in the zone, he can actually pick out faces as he's going around. Is that true?
Dude, I could not.
I know. I couldn't believe it either. He's like, I swear to you.
I can't pick out faces on
things going
465.
slow. I know, exactly.
I can't even find my fiance at an airport. It's like
Driving around. What? I told you, drive around again. Yeah, okay.
I mean, do you ever get distracted and think about something else during like a yellow? When it's going so slow, do you look around a little bit? Or
So one time in my junior category days, I actually started thinking about because I never done like an interview.
Yeah.
And I was like, what should I say on the press conference? And I actually went off track and I finished second. So since that day, I don't allow myself to think about anything.
That's a great
Yes,
story.
nothing.
That's a great story.
But I'll zone out. Sometimes I just find myself kind of like waking up from sleep when I'm driving. It's super weird. Like I've done 10 laps and I can literally not remember what happened. Like those 10 laps.
Wow.
Super
Now that
weird.
happens to me when I'm driving my son to Burbank to basketball practice. That's a little less dangerous.
I don't know. Maybe not.
Well, yeah.
But apparently it's like a hyper focus. So you're fully driving like instinctively. You're not like thinking. You're just
one
doing.
with the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Oh, man.
It's and normally when that happens, you're doing well. So.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay.
I'm going
Last
to be
question.
thinking about that on Sunday. Is Felix one with the car?
Felix,
we got to come up with a name for
any
that.
tattoos?
Any tattoos? No.
See, we're so relatively tattoo free.
My dad would kill me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all tattoo free over here.
Oh yeah. What a team.
Yeah, buddy.
Right here.
All right, here's what's going to happen. If you win, you get a Borg Warner, I get a Borg Warner, you get a Borg Warner.
I'm going to get the
You get a
Dixon
Borg-
tattoo. I'm going to go.
A tiny?
Yeah, the tiny.
Yeah. Deal.
I mean, Zach Brown has started to do the F1 tracks for every win now.
wins.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
he doing?
great.
That's going to get...
Yeah.
One of the-
When they double podiumed at Imola, wasn't it? First?
No, it was Monza.
It was Monza. It was
Monza,
Monza.
and now
yeah.
it's
and then they just
Miami.
won at Miami, so
Yeah.
he's got the second one. Yeah.
that's
well, Zach Brown looks like a tattoo guy. You know.
You don't expect it, do you?
Right.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, very, very cool. Well, best of luck.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much for your
Thank
time.
you.
Felix.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Every
How do you say goodbye
rose
in
has
Swedish?
its quist.
You say hej då.
What is it?
Hej då.
Hey do, which sounds like hello. What a world.
Hej då.
Hey do.
Hey, do.
Hey do. Me say do.
And now, Christian, I want you to pronounce the way you pronounce your last name in Denmark.
Christian Lundgaard.
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 Wow. How do you like it? Pronounced in English?
Well, I've heard it for too many years. I've kind of just gotten on with it.
Do you like Loon or Lun or Guard or Get?
Honestly, it doesn't matter now. Nowadays, everybody's different. You know, there's so many different nationalities here in IndyCar as well.
That's true.
So Rosenqvist is pretty easy.
Yeah.
Blomqvist is pretty easy.
Yeah.
And then you have Lundgaard.
How many Danes are there? The two?
There's 2. 2.5.
Who's the half?
Who's the half?
Newgarden.
Oh, right.
Newgarden's mum's Danish.
That's right. I forgot.
And last year we had Benjamin Peterson.
Man.
He's Danish.
But you were the first Dane.
First full Dane, yes.
Full Dane. Yeah. Full Dane.
We only count full Dane.
Yeah.
No one wants to go the half Dane.
I will say Joseph doesn't even speak Danish.
Yeah,
so he doesn't qualify.
Get out of here.
Now, my only Danish question is, you know who Niels Bohr is, right?
Who?
The most famous physicist, the teacher of
yes,
of J. Robert Oppenheimer. Niels Bohr.
Niels Bohr?
Yeah.
Yes.
Christian how about Bent Larson?
Get bent.
Chess player.
I'm just saying you're just saying the most common names right now.
Well, so I had this conversation about Danish pancakes and how they're the best pancakes in the world. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I learned something very recently from Marcus Ericsson's wife because she's also Danish.
Yep.
They have to put beer in pancakes.
That's what it is.
And I'm like,
I thought it was
you're
vanilla.
you're not putting beer in pancakes. And she's like, yeah.
It's malt. I thought it was vanilla, but maybe it's the beer. I'm trying to figure out what the secret thing is because they have.
Well, I don't even know anymore.
I know, if you don't know, what do I know? But they are great, thin, so
yep.
good, so good.
Now, you're talking about working out. Do you guys work out together? Any of you guys go to the gym together?
So I used to be at Pit Fit, which is where a lot of the drivers are. But when Rahal built the new workshop, they built a pretty awesome gym. So there's no point for me to really to stay at Pit Fit. And you know, it's also for me it was more being around the team every day because it's not so much an excuse to be able to have to go to the shop, but it's I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
And you're there. And it's good for the team as well, you know, to see that you're in the gym every day.
Yeah.
And but also that you're around the people and you get to work with your mechanics and your entire crew. So it's a plus.
Yeah. 108th running of the Indy 500. How do you feel about this one?
Well, I guess we'll wait and see what the rain really says, right? Because I think in the end, you know, I've been having a conversation with a few drivers across the past 6 months that, you know, it's been a while since there's been a humbling accident in IndyCar. Not to say that I'm hoping for it, right?
Yeah.
But ideally, since 2019 at Pocono, which was the second year of Pocono accident, right? That's really the last big one that we've had. Other than that, it's been, there's been a little bit. But I think this year with the rain threatening, you know, halfway through the race, and I think everybody's just going to drive like every lap is the last lap, really, where typically it's, you know, everybody's playing the long game. They're waiting for the end because you just got to be in position for the end, be in the right fuel strategy. So obviously I'm not hoping for it, but it is in the back of my mind that I think this year's Indy 500 is going to be really entertaining.
Oh, wow.
Put it that way.
Wow. How about that?
I think there's a lot of reasons for this year to be very entertaining.
Yeah.
What was the first one you watched?
Well, that depends before I've driven or afterwards, because I've rewatched a lot of races from in the past, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I watched the 2020, I watched the 2021, which was obviously very unfortunate for Graham. You know, he was in a good position and lost the wheel after the pit stops.
Yeah.
But I watched the 2020, which was also good because that's the one Takuma won with Rahal. Graham finished third, which was the COVID year. Right. But I've rewatched a lot of races. It's really like with F1 with Michael Schumacher. I'm born in 2001, so he won F1 championship in 2000. So I watched that.
Yeah.
Helio won in 2000 and 2001. I watched that. But it's more been just research rather than.
So you're a historian of the sport. I mean, you really care about
I
that.
would not go that far.
But I mean, yeah, fair enough. But you care enough about it. I don't know that everybody does what.
Yeah,
does
but
that.
I don't necessarily think it's because we do care, but I think it's more also we want to understand.
Yeah. Is there strategy in that? Like, are you trying to like pull out like somebody did this at some point in time and it may work?
No, but I think it's more learning from mistakes as well.
Yeah.
You know, it goes either way, and I think that's what's really important for us because the only thing we have is the previous year.
Yeah.
You know, because the rules change and stuff like that. But you obviously you don't want to make the same mistake twice.
The team has a pretty big, gap in from Sato to Graham, and then obviously everything in between.
Thank you.
Hello, Mr. In Between.
At least that means I'm not the worst one.
Right. What accounts for that? I mean, like to be in a top 12 shootout, and then the last row shootout. Like, there's not a whole lot of teams that cover both areas.
No, and I think it's something that we scratch our heads off by. You know, it's ideally it doesn't really make sense for us because all cars are built the same way. But I personally do believe that we found speed compared to last year. I think Chevy took a step forward. We've closed the gap to a lot of the Honda cars. Last year we were 4 miles an hour off Alex Palou.
Wow.
This year I was 0.9 of a mile an hour off. So ideally we've gained 3.1 mile an hour.
Good point.
On at least my car. So we've moved forward. You know, we're 0.4 of a mile an hour behind Dixon. You know, and all the Ganassi cars were in base, fighting for pole last year. So I think we have taken a step forward. You know, Takuma coming in is, that car, of course, have had more attention because it's a single event car. It's the only race that it really needs to be fully functional for. And there's been small bits and pieces of damage that we've had throughout the year in the different races that we've done that, might put us in the position that we're in now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but I am proud of the team and proud of the work we've done. It doesn't show it on pure result, but Takuma being in the Fast 12 clearly shows that we're capable of doing it.
Yeah.
But now what we have to do is understand why the 15 car is 33rd and the 75 is 12th.
Right.
Now, do you have a tattoo?
I have 2.
We've been doing a quick review. Are they visible?
I have one on each arm.
There we go.
It is.
There we go.
Rose.
They're exactly 1 year apart.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the story?
What is
So, my dad, I wouldn't say my dad's against tattoos, but he's not in favor. So it's kind of like, it better mean something.
Yeah.
Short, the short version is probably he's not in favor.
Yeah.
So, I was on holiday with my girlfriend at the time, and I was like, I'm not going to get a skull on my arm. I wanted to get something. So I got a rose with the initials of my family, my mom, dad, and my brother.
Nice. Good.
Which is,
Love that.
it's a nice little thing.
Yeah, I like that.
And then, which was the day before I turned 18. And then I've got loyalty on the right arm, which I have with my trainer back from Denmark. Because when I raced in Europe, he traveled with me. So he became a second dad.
Yeah, sure.
We lived together, basically.
Right.
So you didn't get the girlfriend at the time's name.
Yeah, smart move.
Good move.
Smart move.
I'm smarter than that.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how many people aren't.
Yeah.
I've heard some pretty wild stories myself of weird places to put names to. So it's.
What kind of music do you like?
I have probably the widest music taste on planet Earth. I can listen to everything.
Do you listen to anything in the morning of the race typically? Or are you in your head?
No, it's honestly just whatever is in front of me. It's just
yeah.
Do you have a pre-race routine that you do?
Oh, routine.
Yeah.
Do you miss the mustache?
Nope.
Is your boy here? What was his name?
Victor. Yeah,
Victor.
he's here. He's here. We've played golf all morning, so I think he's having a pretty rough time right now. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Play well?
That's very
What'd you shoot?
convenient.
We were scramble.
Okay.
And we were 8 under
Nice.
as a team.
Pretty good.
Nice.
I heard that Graham's team was 9 under. And I know Graham is a hell of a lot better than I am at golf. So to be 1 behind him, I'm pretty happy.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, listen, have a great race. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us.
No, of course.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Go freaking win one. Why not?
I mean, someone's got to win.
Someone's got to win. It might as well be you.
Joseph already has one.
That's right.
Takuma has 2, so he doesn't need another one.
No.
So,
Let's do it.
Dave going to be here?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was going to ask that question. Like, do you have any David Letterman stories? Is he?
I do have one, which is pretty funny. And I don't know if he was just trying to take the piss out of me or if he was being serious.
Yeah.
In St. Pete last year, because me and Jack had swapped cars. So I was in the 30 Shield car in 2022, and Jack was in the Hy-Vee car for 2023. We swapped. So I was in the 45 car. We show up in St. Pete. David's here. We're on the grid. He comes up to me and he shakes my hand and says, "How are you doing, Jack Harvey?" And to this date, I'm still not sure.
You're not sure?
I didn't, because he's also the character who would be able to pull it off.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, absolutely no.
Yep.
That's good.
Someday you have to ask him.
I think I asked him in Barber, but I don't remember what the result.
That feels like a letter.
One little footnote. I heard, I don't know if this is true or not. You know the famous story about Paul Newman getting the Volvo and putting the super horsepower engine in it? Remember this story?
I've never heard it.
The actor Paul Newman, who did the movie Winning, and he famously bought like a Volvo and had it entirely souped up, and I think he might have done it with a Volkswagen also. But I was wondering, I'd heard a rumor that Letterman had actually bought that. I don't know.
Letterman, I know from the Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, they took his, it was a station wagon that they take out, and it is incredibly loud. And they took it out, I think they were in New York, and they took it down. Yeah, it's a grocery getter that is souped up.
Yeah,
if
you Google Paul Newman.
I don't know if it's the same car, but it's
and it's out there. And there's
I'm sure he has a few cars.
Yeah. He probably does.
But if you have one that looks
I know Graham's got a couple.
Yeah.
But if you have one that looks like a family truck store,
I mean it is. It looks like you're going to Whole Foods, and then it's.
I'd like to ask him if he's got that thing.
There we go.
In any event, thank you so much.
Nice job.
Thanks, guys.
Go get him, baby.
Do you still live in New Zealand?
I do not. I now live in Indiana, where I am a racing car driver. I don't know if you know that.
So what are you doing here? Oh.
Yeah, funny that.
Yeah, funny that.
Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I moved from New Zealand to Europe when I was 13, so I haven't lived there for a while.
Wow. Where do you live in Indiana?
Do you want me to give you my address?
No.
And then you can give it
I just want to know if you're in Carmel doing all the roundabouts.
I actually am in Carmel.
Yeah.
So do I give off Carmel vibes?
I grew up in Carmel. Don't let them talk you off of that. I mean, it's
but Carmel, Indiana has more roundabouts than any other city in the world, and
crazy.
This way you get used to turning left.
You know what? It's actually a good thing. I mean, I lived in Italy for 6 years, and they only have roundabouts there as well. And when you come to a city like Chicago, when you're sitting, it takes you 45 minutes to go a mile because of the constant red lights.
Right.
I love roundabouts.
There's something to be said for it.
Yeah, they're great. What other Kiwis are here with you?
So there's Scott McLaughlin, who's sitting on pole actually for Sunday's race.
Yeah, represent.
And then there's Scott Dixon,
of course,
who is, well, he is a 6-time champion, and also my childhood hero, who's now my teammate.
How cool is that?
Pretty damn cool, man.
So
He's also the nicest guy ever. He's such a great, sweet guy.
Yeah, don't tell him that though, because I don't want his head to get too big.
So you as a kid, he was the guy for you?
He is. He's the man. He's pretty well known in New Zealand. I mean, there's a photo of him in every karting club rooms in the country. So
wow.
I've been following him race here in IndyCar since I was like 6 years old. So,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
And then to get to just to be your teammate, that's like I'm an actor, so like if I got to work with a hero. Flex. Yeah, subtle flex. Thank you. I feel like maybe you got a career in comedy, like dry comedy. Like we could do a movie together. You could be like the.
I'm actually a childhood. I'm a child star. I was on a film when I was younger.
Which one?
Have you heard of Home Alone?
Yes.
Yeah. So I was the kid in the movie that put the cars and they all like slipped the robbers.
Oh.
I don't know if have you seen that?
I have seen that. I thought that was Macaulay Culkin.
Oh, you know what I've done?
Oh,
you're right.
See,
it was Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
It must have been a dream. Oh.
Yeah.
I love it. Marcus had some solid weed before he came here today. He is feeling himself. I love it. My
Let's
guy.
ask is the cannabis, the marijuana, the reefer legal in New Zealand?
You're probably asking the wrong fellow.
Yeah, because when he was
I'm
13,
not suggesting that you partake.
He's been in Italy for
I'm
crying out
going
loud.
to give you the most politically correct answer I can, and assert my Fifth Amendment right on that question because I'm also a racing driver and I get drug tested every 15 seconds.
They increase the drug test.
After this interview, no doubt they will take me away for a random drug test.
Random.
Yeah, they don't
Since I
radio
gained weight,
people.
muscle, they've been drug testing me
If they,
as well.
if they tested
Yeah.
my staff, it'd be primarily antidepressants.
It's funny because it's true.
Yeah, what is it? SRPVs? What are those things called? I
Yeah,
forget.
Good on
It's
ya.
great to have you in Indiana. Great to be at the Indianapolis 500. It's got to be so cool. Now, do you have any weirdo stuff you do, like wear unusual underwear for the race day, or eat a weird breakfast, or anything oddball?
Do I do anything weird? I don't have any superstitions. I don't wear underwear, but I am a avid fan of podcasts. So I listen to a constant
do you really?
podcast. We're just going to brush over that thing I said earlier.
So you mean race morning? You'll be listening to Joe Rogan or something?
I actually I have a habit of so I do planks. So I like to plank for a couple of hours every week or so, and I listen to a Joe Rogan. You think I'm joking? This is not.
Yeah,
a joke.
I can't. I don't know what to believe anymore. I have no idea, but I love it. I'm going on the ride with you, Marcus.
I'm actually, that's the only thing I've said that's actually true in this interview. And I listen to Joe Rogan podcast. You actually remind me of Bert Kreischer.
Thank you very much. His kids and my kids went to the same school, so I'm about to take my shirt off, and it's going to be great.
Yeah, Bert's a good friend of the show.
Yeah, you can. I'll give you a fair warning.
So nothing. Now, what about your helmet? Do you have do you like a Kiwi flag
Not
up
really.
there? Or something?
I've sort of, I don't know if you've seen my helmet, but it's sort of a replica of Kimi Raikkonen's in 2006 at the Monaco Grand Prix. I don't know if you know who that is.
I know Kimi.
So Kimi, he's the man. He has the coolest helmet designs as well. You can have a look at it on Instagram at Marcus Armstrong. Everyone follow me right now. And I mean, I'm actually trying to get some inspiration for my next helmet. If you guys have any ideas.
If it's Joe Rogan, it'll be a reefer leaf.
Or do you guys know Christian McCaffrey by chance?
Oh.
Because I'd like to do like a Niners version of that helmet and do like a helmet swap with him.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
So when did you get into NFL?
When I was probably 3 or 4 years ago, I decided that it was like the coolest sport in the world.
Yeah.
And I listen to probably an hour of Fox Sports radio every day.
Really?
Yeah.
You're all the way in. Are you a Niners fan, obviously?
Yes. I'm also a fan of whoever is competing against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Respect.
I even went to the Super Bowl this year. So,
Really? What was it like?
It was cool. I went to I'm not going to say a party because I'm not allowed to say that. I went to a gathering and Trevor Lawrence was there.
With his long flowing locks.
Yeah, I thought it was my girlfriend. For a second.
It's like, hey, honey. Oh, sorry about that, buddy. That's so great. Okay, well, then compare the Super Bowl to the Indy 500. How can you compare them?
Well, naturally, the 500 is very traditional. There's a lot of fans that have been coming here since they were young. And to me, the Super Bowl was quite corporate. I mean, I was in an area in the grandstand where there actually was legitimate Niners fans, so it was cool. Yeah. But when I was down on the field at the beginning of the game, I'm pretty sure no one knew who, like, Deebo Samuel was. Like, he was training right in front of us, and everyone else was, like, on their phones taking selfies, and it was like, oh, this isn't...
Yeah, right.
Like, come on. Like, it's Deebo Samuel. He's literally stretching 5 meters away from us, and they didn't care. I was just going crazy like a little
That's
fangirl.
awesome.
Yeah.
You've gone all the way in.
Have you been to a Colts game?
I have not been to a Colts game. It seems that they always fall on times when I'm busy, but I'm keen to do it.
It's a great
spot.
facility, and believe it or not, right now they are transforming Lucas Oil Stadium into a swimming pool. 2 of them. Did you know this?
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
They're going
US
to have
trials.
the Olympic trials there. It's happening as we speak.
Wow.
I saw some video yesterday. They've raised up the floor, and there's 2 giant swimming pools.
It's the first 2 weeks of June.
It's crazy. It'll be the largest pool venue in history.
Is it the American national team that is doing their trials there?
For the Olympics.
Yeah.
The Olympic
Wow.
trials.
You see, they asked me to do that as well.
Yeah.
I'm quite a good swimmer.
Quite a good swimmer.
Yeah. I'm actually in the Carmel Swim Club.
That is legitimate.
That's a real thing.
It's not only a real thing. Like that's like the thing.
That's the second true thing I've said in this interview.
They're good.
They sure are.
Well, Marcus, what a great pleasure to meet you.
I think you need to have your own podcast.
Yeah.
I think it's
Did you go to?
You guys could remake Twins.
Yes.
You know.
Yes, that's it.
Have you
All
seen
right, I can
Twins?
get you another one of these shirts. It's going to be great. Cannonball Run hat.
I'll give you 2 things. One is false. One is true.
Okay.
I have my own podcast. It's a food blog where I review food and do wine tasting. And the other thing is I've been on an IndyCar podium. What's true, what's false?
I see.
You've been on a podium.
So you think that's the
I
true
do think
one?
the podium.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure you were last.
do you
I
think?
want the first one to be true. I really do.
So you are going for the first
Yeah, I'm
one.
going to the first one.
What about you? You're the deciding factor here.
Any hints here? Okay. Pardon me? Go podcast.
It is true.
Let's go!
I have my own food review podcast.
Come on, how can I find it?
It's called Screaming Meals, and I'm not even kidding. We have
This
other
is
drivers.
great.
We once had a thing where no one was. So I have myself, my co-host, and a couple of other drivers who want to do it with me, and there's like a rule where we don't talk about racing for like half an hour of the podcast. And if you do, you have to take a shot of tequila.
Please, can I come on your podcast?
How much are you going to pay me?
No, it's the other way around.
Pay to
I will
play?
give you a discount on my rate.
If you act as Bert Kreischer, you can come on.
Okay, deal. Sold. Sold.
Get Bert Kreischer on the phone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
Well, this is being filmed as well. Oh, I didn't realize.
you look very handsome. You look great.
Tens of people will see this.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you, Brian.
So do you have any, before we let you go, do you have any food tips?
Oh, yeah.
With all this fooding stuff you're doing?
Oh, my food opinions are very unpopular here in the States.
Oh.
Go ahead.
See, I don't actually eat meat. And, yeah, I'm pescatarian.
So you eat a lot of fish?
What else? I mean, I'm pretty boring, man. Like, I eat acai bowls like they're going out of fashion, and peanut butter is my favorite thing in the world.
Oh, 100%. It's the forgotten condiment. I would put peanut butter on everything.
But most people, like my wife is from England. We met in Australia. Like they think peanut butter is the devil's work.
We'd like to see you in the podium, okay?
Yeah, get on that damn podium. They both can be true.
Marco Andretti is our guest. Hey, Marco, thanks for the time.
Pleasure.
My man.
You guys were talking movies. We got a movie guy right here. What is the best movie about racing? Is there a good one?
Good question.
Is there a good one? There's a comedy called Driven. You ever see that? I like Talladega Nights as a comedy. As a real one, I think Rush did an okay job.
What about Turbo? The one where the snail races in the Indy 500? Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
See Enzo?
Did you ever see the classic ones? Was it Paul Newman?
Winning? Yeah, it's a good one, yeah.
Ford versus Ferrari was pretty good.
Not bad.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah, well, Rush was a really good one. I
yeah.
thought. But as someone who does it, is that the closest to reality?
Oh, closest to reality?
Or not even close?
That one's tough to pick one that's close to reality because it's just so hard to replicate. Yeah.
Yeah, if I see a movie about radio, I always go, ugh.
Right.
It's never close.
Right.
Well, that's what's crazy about the Formula One movie that they're filming. It's going to be like $350 million budget.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that'll be the one. Yeah.
But I mean, like, I don't know how you recoup that and make it, realistic. I mean, they are racing real cars during certain events, F2 events. I mean, it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
How come I didn't get a role in that? That's what I'm saying. They're like it was all real except for the dude that was 300 pounds in the F1 car. I don't think he's going to fit in there. Actually, your grandpa took me on a 2-seater around Pocono, which is still one of the highlights for me. And he was 76 at the time. And I was thinking, I was comparing him to other 76-year-olds I knew. And I was starting to freak out. And I'm like, wait a minute. No, this is Mario Andretti. I'm going to be fine. And that was only 180. But I swear to God, man, there is nothing like that feeling. I don't know how y'all do it.
Yeah, I mean, I went with my dad. I went with Conor in Vegas, my dad in St. Pete, and I never thought it would be because when you're driving it, it's like it's not the same because it's a little slower. But as a passenger, not being in control, it wasn't fun.
Okay, good. Thank you so much for saying that because I felt like such a wuss ever since because I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna fly out of this thing. My head's gonna get chopped off.
Now, were you more slender at the time?
How dare you? You never ask a girl about her. No, I was the same size. It was during Gotham. I was probably even bigger. Like it was crazy. They crammed me into that thing. Got the freaking Vaseline out. And
I'd be concerned that the back might slide out.
Those things are pretty. I will say with that they were pretty wide and heavy to the ground. But what I loved is he was giving me a ride too. I was like. That was a highlight. And I got this great picture, and then I'll stop talking about myself, but of him and me and my little boy who was about 6 years old. I'm in the fire suit, which, by the way, is the coolest thing ever. Like, if you want to look cool, put on a freaking fire suit. And we're walking and we're chatting, and it's like we've got it framed in my house. It's special. I mean, I know you hear the family name all the time, but it's how does it feel to you've really carved out your own niche of you've done your thing, man. I mean,
I'm working on it. Yeah, I mean, we've done some cool things, but hopefully the best is in front of us. I'm trying to diversify my driving portfolio a little bit, like my grandfather did, and try this stock car thing. And
which you've been great at.
It's been, I mean, SRX was surprisingly well, so that's what kind of made me want to swing at this and see where we end up. So, and it's been like a breath of fresh air. It's been fun to drive those things, and similar to Conor's doing some stuff too. But man, the Super Bowl is here in a couple days, so that's what I focus on.
Yeah.
Does it take you a couple days to get back into the mental thing of driving a car this fast on this track?
Day one, I was P2, so no. I feel
it was pretty smooth.
Yeah, I feel really comfortable off the bat here. Like, I was flat lap one after not driving for a year. Just go and do it. So, but they asked me that question, like, are you not as prepared as the full timers? And in the media center, I said, I feel like the full timers need to be looking at row 7 more than I need to be looking at them. That's the way it feels.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's
it's also muscle memory for you at this point. How many?
This is 19.
19?
Yeah.
Wow. Goodness.
I'm about to move into the top 10 all time.
Really?
It's crazy. Yeah.
They still make you take the refresher when you come back?
Yeah,
At
they
19?
do, yeah.
I mean, that's insane. First of all, is it Andretti? And second of all, 19?
Worse than me is Helio. He's won it 4 times.
That is crazy. That's crazy.
That's great.
They made Helio do it?
Well, not this year because he drove some other stuff, but they would, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Rules are rules, man.
Yeah. Rules are rules.
Rules are rules.
Now, are you one of these super fit exercise guys like a lot of these guys have to be now?
I'm like, I don't get like crazy with the diets. Like, some of these guys are string beans, man. I get like weak when I lose too much weight. So I don't go crazy with my diet, but man, I'm running every day. Like, I've been running. It's been 90 degrees out. I've been every day I'm running. So yeah, I have what it takes to compete.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you do with your downtime?
Well, this year I have a 21 stock car race season, so it's been kind of busy. Like, I have 5 in a row. After this, I go Portland, Sonoma, Iowa, Mid Ohio, like back to back. We're home for 2 days after the race, so it's keeping me busy. But when you're loving what you're doing, it doesn't feel as busy. So, but other than that, I have some real estate stuff and airplane charter business, stuff like that. So it keeps me busy.
Sounds very serious.
And not to mention, I've seen, through our mutual friends, like the freaking fun palace that you have there in Nazareth. You guys always seem to have so
Conor's
much fun.
not telling stories.
No,
is he?
He's not. But I've just seen the post here and there.
He signed the NDA.
You got to drop your phone off when you show up.
Exactly. Put it in the box.
That's right.
All right. Well, Marco, have a great race.
Yeah, my man.
Thank you, guys.
Go get him.
Expert entrepreneur Ed Milet is on a mission to max out your life.
I exist here weekly so that you can make your dreams come true, become the man or woman you're capable of, and then pay it forward.
It's time to get laser focused on peak performance.
Clarity equals focus, and focus equals success. That's what I'm here to do every week with you. Max out.
The Ed Milet Show. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.